Testing, mic check. Cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns, cinnamon buns. Hello, friendos. My name is Nez, and we are once again back at it. Words are hard. Back at it again for some more Arknights, because today we are gonna begin our story reading of the latest limited event story, Retracing Our Steps. We are once again returning to Kjerag. It's been a while, actually, since we've been to Kjerag. What have they been up to since Harold and friends attempted to conduct espionage in Kjerag? It's been a while. What happened again since last time? We've had the whole Victorian arc. The foundations of the world have been shaken. So much has gone on. Rhine Labs apparently now have set up a research station somewhere in Kjerag. So much actually happened. Aside from that, Kjerag is now a industrialized nation They got commerce coming in from everywhere. They got trains and they got battleships. Most importantly, they finally got battleships. Because in the world of Terra, you need some sort of nuclear deterrence. Or else. I for one support Silver Ash and the construction of Kjerag's battleship because we cannot trust the British. Absolutely not. We cannot trust the British. There's a power struggle going on in Victoria. Allies now need to make themselves known. Is this gonna... Hold up. When does this take place? Does it take place after Amasis travels? Because that would be the United Nations. Right? So if it's after the Amasis travels, should also be after when Ager has made themselves known to the world, revealed the truth about the origins of Terran civilization. I don't know how much that's gonna play into everything. However, apparently Kjerag is gonna be the boss or the antagonist of this story, judging by the gameplay so far. I don't know. Why have we incurred the wrath of Kjerag, goddess of the land? It's gotta be some sort of bullshit that Silver Ash did, right? I mean, could it be anything else? Also, maybe... could also be the Victorians again. Might be that. Somehow, somewhere, Silver Ash... Well, there are 3 Silver Ashes in this story. What's his government name again? There's Encia, there's Enya. Enciotis? Enciotis, right? This motherfucker. Probably up to something with Gnosis again. But still though. I kind of feel like I'm still waiting for the plotline that'll involve Nasty and what I assume to be the creation of the Imperiana Casdelia. I have been waiting for that plotline for so long, considering everything that we know about the floating city of Seshka in Enfield. I just want them to straight up confirm that Seshka, the floating city, is the Imperiana Casdelia that was teased in PV4. Also, it's floating because Sammy apparently gave the Sarkaz of Talos 2 a bone. A bone? A tooth. I think they gave him a tooth. And then they made it float. And they're using it to make Seshka float. Just like the life bone. But anyway, we have a free poll. Daily free poll. Maybe Promonix can come home somehow, right? Never mind. Blue bag. Moose. Okay. So I just logged in. Let's do our dailies. What's up, Midnight? What's up, Catapult? Last night's stream was really kind of tiring for me. I didn't expect the finale of the Wuling Saga for Enfield. So, a whole ass 5-hour stream just going through the finale. I zonked out immediately after that stream. Apparently, a lot of people like the direction of the finale. They oohed and awed at the cinematics. I played other games, so I'm not really impressed by cinematics. Enfield storytelling is another matter. But anyway, as long as we get humanistic writing and deep lore in OG Arknights, I can tolerate Enfield and whatever wish fulfillment fantasy that it wants to do. Whatever hype moments and aura farming that it wants to do over good writing. It's fine. It's its own beast that I can tolerate in its own way. Retracing our steps. Let us begin. So, let us start with OS-ST-1. Landslide. And she said, henceforth, you shall walk the path forward alone. Turn it up. Hydrate. I believe you're wrong, sir. Victoria may be the strongest nation on Terra, but for now... But there's no guarantee that such prosperity will last forever. We are all familiar enough with the history of Victoria's 4 golden decades, nourished by the legacy of Gaul. Times have changed, however. When Victoria's productivity advantages eroded, and her ambition to expand went unsated, the cracks of internal strife began to emerge beneath the surface. The last king attempted to mediate between the factories and the merchants, but failed to propose a new path out of the dilemma. His end was inevitable. The same was demonstrated by the coup in Lithuania not long after. Who emerged as the victor of the bloody struggle? No, it has been more than a decade since they hanged the Lord of Lions, but the repercussions of the coup linger to this day. The Wheat of Brighton, the River of Mercy incident, have the Dukes ever been able to set aside their conflicts for even a moment this past decade? Everyone believes that they will emerge for the better, for the struggle. Not one believes that they're digging Victoria's grave together. If we do not see change soon, an intensifying civil war will be what defines Victoria in this new era. I heard that the most eloquent young man stole the show today. One would be forgiven for mistaking you for today's headliner. I meant no offense, Your Grace, Duke of Castor. I'd hoped to make the acquaintance of more people of wisdom at your manor, but I confess I find myself disappointed. Do you consider your— Wait, Castor? Duke of Castor? Oh my god. The hag herself. Do you consider yourself worthy of a position as a Duke's advisor? Or even the Speaker of Parliament, then? Anyone can point out the ills that plague this nation. Curing it, however, calls for the proper means. A stroke of luck, even. It seems that I am hardly the one who should be worrying about these things, though. What do you think? I remember your mother. You have inherited none of her humility or courtesy, but all of her boldness and irreverence. And see this? You would hardly have found time for a distant relative from a distant land if I had not caught your attention this way. Wait, what do you mean Castor and the Silver Ash family are relatives? What? Hold up. The Silver Ashes and the Castors are related? It was rather an inflammatory speech, but far from being enough to lay a foundation. Many young lads have visited this house intending to make their names amongst the guests, so as to enjoy the adoration of others in high society. How do I know you are not one of them? I have little interest in becoming a guest of honor at the banquets of Victorian nobility. I simply bring a modest proposal. The resources of Kjerag and the industry of Castor complement each other perfectly. There is potential for equal cooperation. I'm building Kjerag's first transnational trading company, and I would like to extend an invitation. Equal? Equal. In 30 years, the name Kjerag will lie on the lips of all of the nations of Terra. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain from cooperation between our two lands. I commend your courage, but I doubt you have the means to make such a promise, child. You will assent. As a consummate and visionary politician, you're well aware of the dilemma that Victoria faces, or should I say, the Duchy of Castor faces. You would not lightly dismiss any measure that could improve the situation, however slim the chance. The fact that I stand before you now is proof enough that I'm worth investing in. Be thankful that you are young enough that I could forgive your impudence. Answer me then, young visionary, with your wit and guile. How does a country that has yet to adopt the Originium Circuit plan on becoming a name on the lips of all of the nations of Terra? Your doubts are well-founded. Industry and technology are certainly important, but for a nation, there are other things that are even more important. To be frank, a particular nature of Victorian politics may have clouded your eyes to the potential of a united nation. I believe. So this was when Enceotis was studying in Victoria many, many years ago. And she stood upon the highest peak, pointed to the lake in the distance, and spoke. Remember the path you walked, and let not yourself forget. Fear the blizzard that is yet to come, and let not yourself be arrogant. Clutch your bows and arrows, pickaxes and hoes tight, and let not yourself be careless. Love your brothers and sisters, love your neighbors and friends, and love the rocks and hills, the grass and trees, as you would love your own siblings. Heed these words, and no calamity shall befall you, and your home and hearth shall be safe forevermore. Are those the commandments of Kjerag?
Saintess, it's almost time.
Have the doctors not found a way?
For years, the finest doctors of Kjerag and Victoria tried everything they could think of to purge the poison from the Great Elder. In the end, it is not illness that takes him, but time.
I see. May I see him?
Of course. Please, deliver him in Kjeragander's name.
Enya gently pushes the door open. The dying man's chest barely moves as he lies on the bed. He seems to hear the sounds and cocks his ear with great effort before opening his mouth meekly.
Enya, is that you?
Great Elder, how are you feeling? Would you like some water?
No. Listen to me, Enya.
What is your wish?
This day has been too long in coming. Do you think that this day has been too long in coming?
Of course not. You taught me many things.
You have done well. I was a poor teacher, a poor elder. I was not even a pious child of Kjeragander.
Great Elder?
I haven't heard Kjeragander's voice for many years. I prayed day and night, recited the scriptures over and over, but she never answered my call. I was lost. I was afraid. But I had to keep going. I thought, if Kjeragander's will was to protect her people, it was not against her will to act in such a way. I wanted to strengthen Divine Bead Court's authority. I wanted the hearts of Kjerag to be united and firm. But I erred in many ways.
One can lie to a man, but no one can deceive Kjeragander. She sees all that we do. She knows all our errors and our repentance.
I know. I believed. But a long time passed, and I thought that I had not been punished by Kjerag. And so, I stopped believing. Until last night, Kjerag came to me in a dream. She did not reproach me. She simply walked in front of me, leading me to the lake, whose surface was like a mirror. And she said, "All the rivers shall converge upon this place." And then I knew my time was up. I wanted to repent. I must repent, for it's too late for me. Anya, tell me, honestly, do you still hear Kjeragander's voice?
She's a whole ass proxy. Her followers must listen carefully to her teachings at all times. The noise of the land may deafen our ears to her voice, and the wind and snow blind our eyes to her teachings. But remember always that she is good, and those who forsake her walk on the wrong path. It is harder to be good than evil, to forgive than to hate, to be humble than to be proud. Those who tread this path must know it is a treacherous one, but those who stray from it shall find it is even harder to return. Ratatos! When are you gonna become playable, Ratatos? And what's her face? Your assistant? When is she gonna become playable? I think she also already has a Rhodes Island band on her. Stop making all that noise, Yucatan. Since when were you as restless as how do you pronounce it again? Securus? Cirrus? I'll just say Cirrus.
I'm sorry, Matriarch, but I can't help myself at a time like this. There's nothing I can do for her but pray.
Always so uneasy, you and Cirrus. She is my younger sister and the future brown-tail matriarch. A little thing like this should be no trouble at all. That idiot's in excellent health. You remember how she sneaked out to climb Mount Jungfrau when she was 8 and ended up breaking her leg when she fell? They thought she'd never walk again. In 2 months, she was running and jumping around like nothing ever happened. No one gave it a second thought. Are we really sure there are no lingering effects? No, of course there wouldn't be. It was so long ago, and the doctors say she's healthy as a bird and beast. But can those Victorian doctors really be trusted? I'll have their heads if anything happens to my stupid sister. Godfredami, it's been 4 hours. Why haven't they come out yet?
Matriarch, report from Captain Monch.
Monch! When is she gonna become playable? Shut up. Don't bother me, whatever it is.
Understood. Let's take a deep breath, Matriarch. Kjerag will protect Russ. She's the gentlest woman I've ever met. Who would Kjerag watch over if not her?
You're right. Also, Ratatos showed up in the first Summit of Nations, right? She was there?
Kjerag.
Oh, Kjerag, hear my prayer. I am hardly the most pious of Kjeragander's people, but now I must muster all my piety in the hopes that Kjerag will grant me one favor. If Clan Browntail must be punished for our past transgressions, then let all that punishment fall upon me. Baby sister is sick? Something's wrong with her? Has Kjera abandoned Kjerag? What happened?
I will accept your anger, your wrath. Please, spare my foolish sister.
Oh, no, wait! She was giving birth. That's what. She's a MILF?
By Kjeragander.
A new brown tail is born! Dear travelers, please note that train KT-392 departing from Lake Silbernezers. How do you pronounce it again? Silbernezers. Bound for Brig Pass will be delayed by 1 hour due to inclement weather. Kjerag Rail sincerely apologizes for your inconvenience. Please speak to the staff member at the information desk if you require assistance.
Are Victorian trains ever not late? Looks like they've rubbed onto the Kjerag Rail.
It's just a little wait. Frankly, I'd rather stay here for a while longer than deal with those investors back home. At least they have good sissy milk here, for free. But inclement weather, they say. Doesn't look like it's snowing. Ooh, new character. Wait, Rhine Labs? New Rhine Labs character? New scientist woman? Agitated woman?
What's the hurry? The trains aren't running. Sorry, excuse me. Wait a minute. I've seen this trick before. You're a pickpocket, aren't you? Stop right there. Let me make sure you didn't steal anything.
The woman breaks free of the hand grabbing her shoulder and runs in the direction of the crowd, vanishing into a sea of people.
Huh? Hey! Somebody help! Thief! Did you lose something, ma'am? My purse, jewelry, terminal. Huh? Everything seems to be here. But that one...
Probably some unfortunate sod trying to get on without a ticket. I told you, this is pious Kjerag, not post-war Londinium. No one's after your purse. What about Monch, though? By Kjeragander! Does trying to ride without a ticket get you hunted down by warriors in Kjerag? Monch is after a Rhine Labs scientist?
Found you. Madame Caroline of Rhine Lab. I know who you are, and what you've done. Come quietly unless you want everyone under the sun to know. The Vine Bead Court will grant you a fair and impartial trial. First, give me what you're holding.
The woman silently clutches the folder in her arms and thinks for a moment before crying out, without warning. She also has a drone, apparently, or is that Monch's drone?
Run! There's a bomb in the station!
The crowd station quickly descends into chaos at the woman's cry. The creator of the chaos once again disappears into the crowd.
Damn. Russ, I'm so glad you're alright. How are they? The children? Perfectly fine. Your sister's taking care of them.
She gave birth to twins?
Rest now, and don't worry about a thing. Yucatan, there were a few times that I thought I was going to see Kjeragander. Every little bad thing that I ever did came flashing back before my eyes. Even that time when I climbed a tree to steal Falby's eggs when I was 8. Oh, what would Kjeragander punish me for? She already punished you, remember? The time you spent 2 months in bed. Don't worry about it, Russ. We've made it through so much. Now we've got another reason to keep going. We have to see Oak and Berry grow up. Kjeragander won't separate us. Yucatan, is it snowing outside? It's a little cold. I'll add some firewood to get you another blanket. Sleep well, Russ. The winter will pass, and we could go see the flowers by the lake when spring comes. All of us. Together.
Cirrus closes her eyes and falls asleep quietly. It should be a moment of happiness, but Yucatan feels a rock in his heart. He looks outside. The clouds are thick and heavy, but the snow refuses to fall. This kind of weather is rarely seen in Kjerag. Maybe we're in for a cold winter this year, Yucatan thinks. When the winter passes, it's gonna be a long winter.
She is omnipresent. She cannot be sought. We need not question her existence. She is there when we choose to follow her. Do you remember this from the scriptures? No, this is not how it should be. If she is omnipresent and cannot be sought, then who hears her will and who... You should rest, Great Elder. Don't let yourself suffer. I see it, Enya. I see unprecedented calamity descending upon Mount Carlin. I see Originium bringing ruin to the land. I see her abandoning Kjerag.
Caught up in a bout of excitement, the old man stares outside the window, his face warped and twisted, seemingly seething in anger or engulfed by a terror that defies description. He raises his withered arms, trying to grasp something, only for them to fall back down meekly. Finally, he quiets down, as though he has expended the last sliver of strength that he had. Great Elder?
Enya, say a prayer for me. The final chapter of the Kjeragander.
And all the rivers shall converge upon this place at the end of it all. And you shall walk the path forward, alone. And the path you shall walk lies beneath your feet. She sighs as she speaks the words. She turns around and disappears in the wind and snow from whence she came. Whoa! They're still hunting her down!
You have no chance for escape. The people of Kjerag know the wind and snow better than any outsider. Your arts aren't effective here. You don't want to damage our relationship with Rhine Lab. Otherwise, I would keep you here by any means necessary to retrieve the military secrets that you stole. I'm not carrying your military secrets. I have no reason to believe you. You don't understand. Don't understand what? You don't understand what these data mean. How long do you think your god will protect you? You can't talk your way out of this.
What?
Wait. What's with the clouds? Run!
An avalanche! Isn't that the lodge at the top of Mount Carlin? The avalanche struck in an instant. A loud crack moved the mountains that had remained dormant for many years. Snow poured down the slopes mixed with rocks and black crystals, and all creation was obscured by gray and white. The mountains trembled. The echoes lingered in the valley. Few could comprehend what just happened. It was the first catastrophe in history to strike this place. The first catastrophe in Kjerag history? Where's Kjerag? Why isn't she protecting the land? Somehow this is Silver Ash's fault. Somehow, I don't know, maybe Through rapid industrialization, the faith in Kjeragander has waned. First snow. OS-1. Amidst the wailing. The wailing foul beasts continue to circle above the snow, heralding the news of death. More misfortune is still on its way. Matterhorn! It's been a long time. Somehow I thought you were a full-time chef at Rhodes Island. I forgot. You're just an associate.
Team Alpha, drop the supplies in the east side clearing. Set up medical tents in conjunction with the Pale Roche reinforcements, and be ready to receive the wounded. Right! Team Bravo, take your shovels and wineskins. Look for survivors in the ruins of the train station. Be thorough and keep your eyes for any cries.
The train station? It got hit. That means
we're stranded. Alright team, grab your gear and follow me. Try not to make too much noise. We'd be looking at a second avalanche. The team is on its way to investigate the mountains. Trust our people. Trust in Kjeragander's protection. By Kjeragander. By Kjeragander. By Kjeragander. Time's a wasting. Get moving. Yes, sir!
Before the voices disperse on the cold wind, the servants of Clan Silverash are already on the move, spreading out on the snow in every direction. They are not the only ones here. The white tide has torn a gash in the peace.
Over here! This one's still alive!
Oh my god, it's Leto Papa. I forgot that you were part of this plot.
Hang in there. You're a son of Kjerag. You can take it.
Look at this deadbeat.
My leg. I can't move my leg. My leg is... Ah! Don't move. Somebody in the back. Report. We dug a hole, but his leg is pinned under a steel girder. We can't get it out of the way. We need a surgeon too. No. I'll try to dig it open a bit more. Okay. Good news. The girder's already broken. All we need to do is lift it up. All we need is a little elbow grease. Over here! All hands on deck! Hold tight. 1, 2, 3! Ah!
Ah! It hurts!
We got a gap! Pull him out now! I got him. Take it easy. Lift him up. Put him on the tarp. Careful not to pull the wound open. Slowly. Carefully. Got it! Stretcher!
Out of the way! Stretcher coming through! We got Rhodes Island! We're directly involved this time. Suppress restrained cries, rescues, stretchers, and survivors. The rescuers run back and forth on the white snow, their faces red with exertion, hot sweat dripping on the snow. Or maybe it might just be our Kjerag branch.
Take over from here, Gulo. Save every soul that you can. Right. But where are you going, sir? Sir Arknights, is rescue work in the south already done? No, not yet. Gulo's overseeing it. I came to find you. We're handling things here. No need to worry. Browntail's help has already arrived. They brought blankets and food. Madame Ratatos wanted to come personally, but she seems to be otherwise engaged. I figured as much. We know what's going on. Nobody blames her. This timing of this bloody disaster. It came out of the blue. There were no warning signs, no chance to prepare. Yeah, that's why I came to you. You know the rules. This avalanche happened on Pale Roche land, and we're responsible for the mountains here. We've been watching the thickness of the snowpack. I've seen the records myself. Everything was normal. That's why I came to ask. Don't you people at that research institute of yours whose job it is to check the mountains, what are they saying? Research Institute? You mean Rhine Lab? Yeah, they spend all day on the mountains carrying all that newfangled gear. You're not telling me that they didn't find anything, are you? They have their own projects to deal with, and they don't necessarily focus all of their attention on the mountains. Besides, we came as soon as we heard the avalanche. We haven't had a chance to find out what they know. Sir Enciotis sent Degenbrecher up into the mountains with a team. They should be back soon. Huh. This is sending chills up my spine. What in blazes is this avalanche?
The wind wails, carrying snowflakes with it. The man turns around and stares at the mountain. He may be a mountain among men, but he is a little more than a pebble before the silent mountains.
Is that?
A group is moving quickly down the snowy mountain path, heading for the two men.
Sir Matterhorn! We must let Sir Enciotis know at once. We found...
The investigator's expression is deathly pale, his fur boots wet and gray with dirty snow. In the wind, his rapid and ragged breathing sounds almost like wailing.
If there are no further questions about the framework agreement, let us now move on to the detailed terms of the agreement. First, concerning taxation of the joint Kjerag-Kazmiesh mining endeavor. Sir, Madame Degenbrecher is outside. She has something to report. Right now? Yes, she says it's extremely urgent.
Was this caused by excessive mining of the mountains? Is that why Kjerag has abandoned her people? Because Silver Ash has been mining the mountains?
What's this urgent matter?
I forgot how chopped your fucking first E1 sprite is, Silver Ash. Holy shit. He's so chopped.
We found this on the mountain where the avalanche occurred.
Degenbrecher opens her gloved hand, and a small black shard of originium lies quietly in her palm. Oh wait! Is this connected to the originium across Terra? Dissolving into Oka? Dissolving into liquid form? Is that why the structural integrity of the mountain gave way for an avalanche? Is every single conflict that we're gonna have moving forward just a butterfly effect of whatever Priestess was up to? Is that it? Oh my god.
On a mountain in Kjerag. If the mountain by the train station counts as Kjerag, both Gnosis and Rhodes Island have examined it. It's almost certain that.
Degenbrecher looks around her, making sure there are no eavesdroppers, and drops her voice.
This avalanche was a catastrophe. How many know? The investigation team is our people, so we can keep them quiet, but a number of those at the foot of the mountain have been infected. It won't be a secret for long. Instruct Matterhorn to set up a blockade, and not let any civilians approach. I want checkpoints on the mountain as well. Contact Rhodes Island. Request secrecy in the housing and treatment of the patients. Tell them to contact Carlin Trade if they ever need any help. And tell Ratatos and Arknights to meet me at the train station in 1 hour. Whatever it takes. Understood. Anything else? Take a squad and go to Vinebead Court immediately. Tell Gnosis to take a team to protect the Rhine Lab's observation station. Understood.
Enciotis, checks his clothes, and goes back into the conference room.
I apologize for the delay. Let us continue. First, concerning taxation of the joint Kazimesh mining endeavor.
Man is just all business. Keeping up public and private affairs.
Preposterous! Preposterous! There has never been such a prophecy in any of the scriptures. Why would Kjeragander punish us with a catastrophe? It's preposterous!
But it happened.
She has left us because she is angry with us. How do we explain this catastrophe, if not by Kjeragander's anger? Look at the crowd surrounding the Vinebead Court now. There are pious believers in Kjeragander, gentle children of Kjerag. Are we to tell them that the families and friends that they lost, all their suffering, happened for no reason at all? The people are troubled, their faith is shaken, but it is at times like this that our own faith must be stronger than ever. How do we know this isn't a trial from Kjeragander to reinforce our faith? Kjeragander has not abandoned Kjerag. Why would she punish Kjerag for no reason? Perhaps it happened because we've acted against Kjeragander's will.
The young cleric takes one look at the saintess in the middle of the hall, then lowers his head without a word.
You may speak your mind. Saintess, I believe this is the fury of Kjeragander. It's a warning. Because the Vinebead Court, because we've made the wrong choice. We should not have allowed the faithless to build upon the Mount Carlin. We should have remained firm, rejected them. If they did not defile the temple of Kjeragander and anger her, why would Kjerag?
His voice grows lower, but at the same time firmer. The hall is quiet, but no one speaking out of objection.
I see. You believe that I, the Saintess, have offended Kjeragander and brought upon catastrophe upon Kjerag? No, Saintess. What I mean is... No. Your words offer valuable insight. It is not only the people at the foot of the mountain, many who sit among us who think the same way. This is what is happening now. People doubt the Vinebead Court, and you too are anxious and wavering. Cleric Fangit, Cleric Renoa, one of you believes that Kjeragander continues to favor us as she always has. The other believes that Kjeragander has.
She bows and thinks for a moment, her alabaster face calm as ice.
Recite to me 3 protections detailed in the Kjeragander. Yes, Saintess. The first protection, page 7, line 9 of the Kjeragander. And so she spoke to the shepherd boy, saying, I shall grant you shelter, and all that you may need. I shall hunt in the woods, and I shall plant seeds in the earth, such that you will have the furs to wear and food to eat, and neither frost nor famine shall take you. And thus she protects us from the harms of cold and hunger. The second protection, page 25, line 17 of the Kjeragander. And so the protector came forth from the people, awakened in the clouds of myriad colors, and built high walls of earth watered with snow. And thus she protects our homes and our kin. And she taught us the means to defend ourselves from our enemies. And page 32.
Numbers are hard.
Line 2 of the Kjeragander, towards the end. That day she proclaimed to the people, My eyes shall watch all over you, my fur shall warm you, my backbone shall protect you, while my flesh and blood shall bless you. You have learned the way of the wind and snow, and learned the form of walking. You are the people of Kjerag, and the land of Kjerag belongs to you from this day forth.
Very good.
Now tell me, is there anywhere in the Kjeragander where Kjeragander promises that Kjerag will always be safe from catastrophe? Are you making that promise to Kjeragander's people on her behalf?
Many of the seated clerics look down without a word. It is quite enough to hear a pin drop. The smell of incense fills the nostrils, but it feels as though their breaths have been frozen in place by the exchange that just occurred.
Your words ring true, Saintess. Catastrophe has struck Kjerag. Some have died, and others have become afflicted. The entire Snow Realm has heard the news. Fear, anxiety, sorrow, and even anger are spreading throughout the people of Kjerag. Our duty is to seek a solution.
Certainly. Now is not the time for debate, and my words are intended as a warning, not to fall into the twin traps of panic and prejudice. You are the faithful devotees of Kjeragander, and you understand the weight that words have. No member of the Vine Bead Court is to speak of Kjeragander's punishment from this moment forth. Tomorrow I will go into the Hall of Writings and devote myself to studying the scriptures and hearing her voice. Alder Adso?
Yes, Saintess.
As the new Great Elder, you shall oversee the Vine Bead Court in my stead during my retreat. You are to carry out the duties of the court faithfully and diligently, from placating the people to conducting the memorial service and copying the scriptures for the repose of the deceased.
Understood.
We must have faith. Kjerag has weathered many storms and overcome many challenges. The Vine Bead Court is ever with the people. What is Kjeragander doing? Did she cause the catastrophe, or was she merely ambivalent to it? Also, priestess. The elephant in the room. At least things haven't gotten out of hand. The girl exhales and slumps over her desk, finally able to relax the back that she has kept straight as a fur in the snow. I don't understand. Why do people keep treating our god as a wishing well? Why do they attribute everything good and bad in their lives to her? I know this is not how I should think as their saintess, but I don't understand why catastrophe would strike now either. Bring in the dressers, please, Kjar. The funeral preparations are done. Starting tomorrow will... Kjar? The room is quiet except for the whistling of the wind and the crackling of the fire. We're still at this point. She hasn't figured out that Kjar might be the proxy of Kjeragander. Maybe in this plot, we'll find out. Enya turns around to find that the room is completely empty. Kjar? Where are you? The handmaiden who should be at the saintess's side at all times is nowhere to be seen. There's only Enya's own shadow, thin and long in the light of the fireplace, flickering in the dim room. Kjar?
Enya, tell me, honestly, do you still hear Kjeragander's voice?
No, she does not. Kjar is nowhere to be found. The cracking of burning firewood echoes through an empty room. The wind continues to wail outside the window. She can almost hear the cries of the bewildered devotees at the foot of Mount Carlin. Enya recalls the day that she first came to the saintess's quarters. An unfamiliar room, an unfamiliar smell. Home was well in sight, yet she would never return. There under her own name. At that time, she felt the same emptiness, as though this room were a snowy cave. but she has grown accustomed to having a companion. Someone to whom she can pour her heart out. Someone on whom she can rely. But now, the Kjerag scriptures lie open on her desk. The dressing mirror reflects the girl's helpless expression. Kjer, you promised me you wouldn't disappear so suddenly. Exactly what happened? Kjer is gone. Meanwhile, at Rhine Labs, Rhine Lab Observation Station Kjerag, 2 months ago, Mumu! Oh my god, Mumu's in Kjerag. Who else is here? Nasty, for sure. Working on the Imperiana Casdelia. That was fast. An observation station of this size built in such a short period of time. Business must have cried tears of blood when they approved the budget. Actually, we got more sponsorship offers from financial institutions that we could handle the moment the committee approved the Kjerag observation station. If anything, funding was the least of our worries on the project. Honestly, Silence, I didn't expect the committee to approve the proposal that easily. I had my reservations. I still think Rhine Lab is too adventurous with regard to research into the star pod. There are numerous potential risks that we have not fully considered. But I also recognize the stability I hope may never come. At the end of the day, it's the specific people in whom we place our trust. Well then, thank you for your trust, Silence of the Scientific Ethics Consensus Committee. I hope that what we're doing is worth it. Of course it is. This station is a unique opportunity for the company. In addition to the Starpod research, the low originium environment of Kjerag also offers a rare opportunity for biological research. Not to mention, Miriam has wanted to visit Karlan for ages. Even Ferdinand came up with a proposal for the station's core power supply just 2 weeks after we got the proposal. Of course, he buried his head in his theoretical research right after that. Elena from Energy is handling the actual implementation. Let's hope our interactions with Kjerag go as smoothly. I believe there will be no need to worry about that. The door to the observation station opens from the outside. The visitor flicks away the snow that has fallen on the shoulders and walks in. No, sis! Working with Rhine Labs! We meet again, Mr. Edelweiss.
Just a regular visit to see if you need anything from the construction of the station. It seems like things are progressing quite smoothly.
Gnosis looks up at the bright lights installed into the spacious ceiling of the station. Rhine Lab and Carlin Trade have worked together to build this little temple, sturdy and bright, in an astonishingly short period of time. Compared to the houses of Kjerag, its bold, futuristic design might as well have come from another world.
Carlin Trade will do everything in our power to assist Rhine Lab Observation Project and provide any assistance necessary outside the scope of work. As long as the terms agreed in the treaty are upheld, you'll enjoy maximum freedom to conduct your activities in Kjerag.
Thank you for your generosity, Mr. Edelweiss.
Research has always been the sole purpose of Rhine Lab. We have no reason to violate the treaty. Of course, I believe as much. Such transnational cooperation is unprecedented in the history of Terra. It will undoubtedly produce its share of obstacles. I simply wish to express that, as long as we proceed with due candor in the sharing of scientific information, we will be able to avoid the sort of accident that occurred in the Shrine Mounts.
Oh, I forgot to ask. Will the Saintess come and visit the station?
I expect she will attend the opening ceremony once the facility is complete. Is there any particular reason that you hope to meet her?
Oh, nothing serious. I'm just a curious critter. I kinda remember the Saintess wasn't too into our project. Then she flipped around and agreed, all of a sudden. I just want to know what made her change her mind, and I figured there'd be a chance to ask.
The Saintess has a very busy schedule. If you wish to meet her, you may want to attend some local ceremonies if the fancy strikes. The Saintess and the Vine Bead Court would be very happy to receive you. Let me know if you have such intentions, and I'll make the necessary arrangements.
Well, aren't you meticulous? You seem to be made for this job.
I'm simply showing you proper Kjerag hospitality. It's our mutual hope that this cooperation will be a fruitful one, free of trouble.
Much appreciated. Our project wouldn't be going so smoothly without your help.
I would not call it help. We are simply trying to achieve the same goal. Carlin Trade will connect the mountains of Kjerag for you, paving the roads and providing the necessary freedom for your activities. In turn, Rhine Lab will share data from your studies of our local ecology and assist with medical development.
The contract details have to go between Director Fitzroy and Carlin Trade, of course. I'm a researcher, not a diplomat. I just want you to know that Rhine Lab has come to this sacred place in good faith.
On this, I think we are of the same mind.
They shake hands with nods and smiles, an image that could have served as the perfect press photo.
There's no need to worry. We will continue along with as friends, assuming we both abide by our agreement.
Duly noted, Homotron 3000. Oh, Astigene! Have you finally graduated university? Are you a full-fledged member of Rhine Labs now?
The representatives of Carlin Trade are here, Elena. They want to meet with a representative of Rhine Lab as soon as possible.
Why? We don't have any scheduled meetings with Carlin Trade, do we? Is it because of the catastrophe?
They want to discuss the cause, or at least obtain the data observed by the station.
Right. Did you see Carolyn anywhere? She's supposed to be in charge of the observation data, isn't she?
That's the other question I have for you. No one's seen her since yesterday morning.
What? What did Carolyn know? Men with guns surrounding the station, demanding that all our researchers gather in the lobby for questioning. Is this how Carlin Trade treats its friends, Mr. Edelweiss? The researchers stand around the spacious lobby in small groups. Gnosis and the guards of Clan Silverash occupy the outside area near the door. The two groups stand opposite one another, as though separated by an invisible river.
It's a request, not a demand, and it seems that not all your researchers are accounted for.
Who exactly are you looking for?
A researcher who was spotted in a restricted military zone in Kjerag.
Gnosis scans the faces of the researchers one by one. The strong guards stand silently while the researchers exchange wordless gazes.
She is not here. It seems that Rhine Lab is not fully aware of your researchers' whereabouts.
If you're accusing us of espionage, I'll ask you to submit your complaint through official channels. We are unable to cooperate with impromptu investigations like so.
Of course, there's another reason why we're here. I'm sure you've heard about the catastrophe that occurred within Kjerag's borders several hours ago. Something that has never happened before in Kjerag history. Panic is spreading, the people's nerves are sensitive, and anything new may provoke a reaction. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
Should I trust that you're not one of the sensitive ones, Mr. Edelweiss?
My views on this matter and Carlin Trade's views are not important at this time. What is important is that the people want an explanation. I hope to work together with you to find the cause of this catastrophe. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed.
Oh wait, I forgot Astigene's government name is Elena. I just checked the station's observation logs. There was nothing out of the ordinary in the 72 hours preceding the catastrophe.
So you're telling me that the observation station did not detect anything abnormal leading up to the first catastrophe to strike this land in 1,000 years?
That's the truth, at least based on our observation data. Elena, it's alright, Mr. Edelweiss wants the truth. We'll give him the truth. The primary objective of this observation station is to study the star pod. Current research shows no relationship between the star pod and catastrophes. Similarly, any assertion that building an observation station here might bring catastrophe to Kjerag is purely speculative with no basis in evidence. Wait a second, Elena. Now's not the time to be argumentative. May I be frank?
You may.
The young woman's voice is calm, her gaze firm and unwavering. I won't mince words then. This may run contrary to the Kjerag faith, but from a scientific perspective, so-called sudden catastrophes are not an abnormal occurrence. It is peace and quiet that Kjerag has enjoyed for so long, and the attitude for taking it for granted that is truly abnormal. The lobby is completely quiet. Elena's words echo to the end of the corridor. Is Astigene a Reddit atheist? Hold up. When this observation station was first established, Ryan Lab considered adding a catastrophe warning system. Unfortunately, we placed too much trust in past experience and did not consider the installation of this system to be a priority. If we are to take remedial measures, the real priority should be for Ryan Lab and Carlin Trade to go back to the negotiating table and establish an effective catastrophe detection system in Kjerag as soon as possible. A most astute observation, miss. I agree completely. Carlin Trade will be developing a catastrophe detection system a top priority. We would like to obtain a copy of the station's observation data from the past month. May we expect your cooperation? Of course. One moment, please. I didn't know you had it in you, Elena. Sorry, Director Mulesys. Was I too hot-headed? A little bit, maybe. I was just angry at how science has to explain for the perceptions that are completely unscientific, no matter where we are. We have to recognize that science can be a very distant thing for a lot of people. The people and the things that trouble us are part of this land. It's not something that we could just ignore. Like Silence said, science is a clear, incisive look at every one of us. I know, but this is just so absurd. Never mind that for now. Let's get the data that we need. Data? It's not like we'll find anything. Wait, this graph. Elena picks up the scattered papers and notices the shape of a certain curve on the spectrogram. This is impossible. What is it? The machine used to study the starpod's structure is bombarding it with high-powered particle beams and observing the resulting electromagnetic radiation. But I just realized that the data obtained between 3 to 4 a.m. on December 7th is identical to the data with the same period on December 4th. An unusual coincidence? No, it's impossible. Just like how no two snowflakes are completely alike, atmospheric electromagnetic radiation is constantly changing. There's only one possibility. If the same exact waveform is displayed during the same time period on 2 different days for an entire hour, someone altered these data. Falsifying data to support a hypothesis? But people don't usually pull shenanigans like that until way later in a project. Got any idea who might have done it? December 7th, the day before the catastrophe. Carolyn, why? The one on observation duty was Carolyn. Could it be? Angry shouts pierce through the metal walls. Give Mount Carolyn back to us! Back to Kjerag! Back to Kjeragander! Get off Kjeragander's land! Uh-oh. The townsfolk are revolting. They think that Kjeragander has punished them for the rapid industrialization of the nation. Shit's wild. Also, my water is coming empty. Holy shit. Summer in Southeast Asia. If you laugh, you go to hell. I'm already in hell. I'm gonna refill my water. Then we continue. I've returned after eating a short snack. I got some chips to refuel, and I got water. Let us continue. Why has Kjerag abandoned the people of Kjerag? Hold up. Just a little reminder of everything that happened so far. Angry townspeople. Got it. There's an angry mob right outside. OS-2, lovely neighbors. The visitor knocks on the door, bringing fine food and wine and putting on a show of friendship. I got hiccups. Waiting for a sign of weakness, he... sorry. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Waiting for a sign of weakness he can exploit. Research station is big.
There they are, the unclean who defiled Mount Carlin and the faith of Kjerag. This iron house of foreigners has angered Kjeragander. Oh, Kjeragander on high, forgive our sins.
The sound of praying and sobbing mixed with angry shouting. The sounds weave into a rope connecting tearful, fearful, and angry faces, surrounding this newly built observation station. The steel door remains unmoving. A wizened voice cuts through the crowd.
Remember that the wind is wrapping the mountains does not come from nowhere.
The wind continues to roar. The old woman walks across the snow to a tightly shut door, her voice clearly heard by the others.
It is her breath, sweeping down from the snow-white peaks.
It is her ever-vigilant watch, rising from the deepest valley to the highest cloud.
It will drive out the miasma of evil and the parasites that hide amongst the rocks.
Uh-oh.
It brings all the sounds back to her ears so that she will hear and the mountains bright and clear.
Wait, is that door moving?
Yes, they're opening the door. Our protest worked. Open up and hear our voice. Listen to the true voice of Kjeragander's people. Listen to the voice of Kjerag. You are not welcome here. You must leave.
Outsiders off Mount Carlin, go back from where you came from.
Outsiders off Mount Carlin. Outsiders off Mount Carlin.
You'd think we stumbled upon Japanese Twitter, dog. Bro, they had nothing to do with it. Maybe. As far as we know. The cries grow louder and clearer. Someone stretches out and waves towards the sky. Is it the result of a sincere prayer, or did the combined force of their invocations cause steel to tremble? The door opens. All breaths are abated in the silence. It's the Silver Ash clan!
That garb, are they from Clan Silver Ash?
The one behind them, the Edelweiss. Did he come to send these outsiders away?
He'd better. They were the ones who brought those people in, and they should be the ones to pick up this mess. But something about his expression. Clear out the protesters. Avoid casualties.
No, sis? Homatron 3000? Enacting police brutality? Dog?
Put down your weapons. Back off.
We're not backing off. Why are you telling us to go away? The ones who should go away are... Keep your hands off me. Edelweiss, whose side are you on?
Whose side do you think they're on? Their weapons and shields are pointed towards us. Isn't it clear enough who his friends and enemies are? Blizzard is coming. You should leave before the road is completely blocked. No need to worry about the dangers along the way. Clan Silver Ash's guards will ensure the safety, will ensure your safety and bring you back to.
Grandma, wait, don't! The old woman forces her arm through the guard's ranks. Her movements are swift and without hesitation. The cold snow splashes upon the Liberi's face.
May Kjeragander forgive your sins.
Pity and resolute mercy congregate upon the wrinkled face. Her cold finger touches Gnosis' forehead, leaving behind a simple curved line. A Kjerag's ritual, intended to drive out evil of a child afflicted by fever.
May her miracle drive out the miasma of evil and the parasites that hide amongst the rocks among you. Remember that the winds of Kjeragander have visited upon your stubbornness before. Now you send her away. Go home, madame.
There is no change in Gnosis' expression as snow melt flows down his face.
The winds on the mountain are harsh. Don't catch a cold.
The people are angry. Holy fuck. The research station is the elephant on the mountain. What? It's right there on the very tip top of that. Kjerag, the beautiful paradise, clean and pristine beneath the wind and snow, pious and pure under divine protection. The faith of its people is firm as the mountains, never wavering. Or perhaps a single flake of snow is all it takes to begin its collapse. What do you think of the catastrophe? Will it shake your faith in Kjeragander? Who is this?
The faith of Kjerag isn't so weak. The people of Kjerag have never wavered, even before the toughest trial. I'll set out for Mount Carlin once the catastrophe's cleaned up and my leg is good again. The son of Kjerag will drive out all corruption and evil, and those who bathe in it need fear neither pain nor illness, nor the stone disease. Kjeragander is great. Kjeragander is kind. She will never abandon Kjerag. Everything will go back to the way it was once we clean up the snow.
Of course. It's all the fault of those Shrine Lab people. Everything started going bad when they came. Kjerag doesn't need no observation station. All we need is Kjeragander's protection. Drive them out. Give me back my peaceful life and my mom and dad. Is there anything I could help? Wait, you're Victorian? Get your pitchforks! Who let this one into the village? Colombians and Victorians? Is everyone making their homes on our turf now? Get lost! You're not welcome here! This will be tougher than I thought. Do you need some help?
Clifford! Been a while.
Hi, I'm fine. I'm just short on film. I don't suppose I'll be able to find any here. Let me see. You can get this model from the Central Mall in the Silver Ash domain. Nice pics. You photographer from Victoria? A reporter to be exact. Good timing. May I get an interview? Who? Me? How do you view the catastrophe that just occurred in Kjerag? How do you view your faith when Kjeragander no longer protects Kjerag from catastrophe? I thought I heard you talking about Kjeragander and catastrophes from over there. You want to know how Kjerag people think? Of course. We came to report on the true Kjerag. People in other lands know very little about it, and we want to know your voices to reach them. There's no need to be burdened by the weight of religion. Liberate yourself from the systematic oppression of rules and tradition, and tell me what you truly feel. Wow, I've never heard so many big words spoken in a single breath. My view on catastrophes is simple. Catastrophes outside Kjerag are really bad, and it's the same for the catastrophe in Kjerag. People suffer and get hurt everywhere. Makes me sad, and I wish these things never happened. As for faith, may I ask a question? Does Victoria have a god too? Victoria? I'm curious what God Victoria is like. What the god of Victoria is like. Is he really petty? Does he get angry easily? You've been going around the village asking questions for days, but you don't talk about anything other than Kjeragander's angry and Kjeragander has abandoned you. So I thought maybe faith to you is something that's colder, harsher.
A smile appears on the girl's face. Her cheeks rise and her voice is light and spry.
I believe the god of Kjerag isn't like that. Kjeragander is like the people of Kjerag, generous and kind. She doesn't get angry over cable cars and factories or light bulbs and books. And she won't throw a tantrum by causing a catastrophe and taking lives. Kjeragander isn't petty like that.
Gotta hydrate.
Evo! One more box, move over! Alright, put it down. Got room on your truck. We got another 15 barrels of Burden Beast milk wine. Can you bring it with you? 15 barrels, You ought to keep it. Can't have a big bar like this and nothing for guests. The 3 great clans alone have donated plenty of stuff to the affected village, not to mention the local gentry. A few barrels of wine more or less won't make much of a difference. I don't like to hear that. They can donate, but I can't. Who are you to decide whether they need it or not? Which of us has actually seen a catastrophe before? But that's too much. It's not. I know you're short on wine. Not only does wine keep people warm, it can also be used in medicine, even to disinfect wounds when necessary. If we had all this stuff back then, well, never mind. Anyway, you're taking it. Not 1 barrel less. I'll take it as you're saying that I'm not one of you and I don't belong on Kjerag. Wait, that's not what I meant. Then take it. Think of it as me doing a favor. You know how that father-in-law of mine is like.
Is this the same dude that married a Kjerag wife from the previous event? It's him! It's the Victorian guy that married a Kjerag woman.
He's endured hardship all his life, but he's never been stingy when it comes to sharing with hungry people. Now move aside and let me put the cargo in. Just don't get in the way don't get in any trouble and make him even angrier. I still remember how he huffed and puffed when you proposed to his daughter. I thought he was a nice guy who just wanted to help. Turns out he was after my little Freya, he said. Said it and he was still mad. So he pulled out his cane.
What are you lot chatting so excitedly about? Let's get to work. Dad and I checked our stock. We still have about 2 truckloads of stuff, mostly dried wheat and cheese, plus some butter and herbs. Good thing I caught you before you left, Crete. Need to tell Carl and Trade to send another truck here.
2 trucks. You. I told you, Crete. Fine, suit yourself. You're the only newlyweds I know who'd rather give away their whole storehouse before taking any gifts.
It's a catastrophe after all. It's never happened to Kjerag. No one knows how bad it is. But now is the time for us to work together and help each other. In Kjeragander's name.
In Kjeragander's name. We'll work together and pull through.
Not everyone is getting all zealotry from the catastrophe. How do I like the story? So far, so good. Kjeragander, nowhere to be seen. Kjar, poofed away. Somehow, the blessing that Kjerag has felt for the last, millennia is gone. First catastrophe. Faith is now being tested among the peoples. This is basically a Masses Travels 2. But for Kjerag. Also, somehow, I still think Silver Ash is behind everything. Somehow, Enceotis is behind everything.
Let's go back, Lisburn. The wind's getting stronger.
I can't help but have a feeling.
A feeling of what?
A strange feeling that something's about to happen. No, I must be overthinking it.
My running theory is that it's connected to whatever... Is that Harold? It's connected to whatever bullshit that Priestess started with the Originium across Terra converting into liquid Oka. And somehow, I think that messed with the structural integrity of the Kjerag Mountains, and that's what caused the catastrophe. Somehow, there's a priestess-shaped elephant in the room. Your intuition is sharp as always.
Wait, Harold, is this real? Am I dreaming?
Look at my Dilf. He's back in action. Well, that's certainly an honor. You still remember my name. Looks like you haven't forgotten the time we fought alongside each other.
Please stop making fun of me. What brings you here?
What else could it be? We've heard there's a spot of trouble in Kjerag, so we came to offer some warmth, as a good neighbor should. Right. Brother, last time you were here, you were doing espionage. You never did find the battleship under Kjeragander's statue.
Wow, a whole truck of supplies.
A truck? Take another look. Harold gestures behind him, and Lisburn sees a long procession of vehicles bearing the Victorian crest, stretching as far as the eye can see. Oh boy! Wow, humanitarian aid from Victoria! Wow, how generous of them! But considering, maybe it was sent on behalf of Alexandrina. Maybe, I don't know.
Some warmth, you say?
Well, we're warmer than some other folk, to be sure, but also maybe it could have been sent on behalf by Castor, because specifically Harold works for Castor. So it might have been from the Duke of Castor. And we just saw her in the first chapter. They kinda implied that the Silver Ashes and the Castors are distant relatives, actually. That's wild. Well, we're warmer than some other folk, to be sure. What do you mean by that? What was that implication? That's a new sprite, actually. Obviously designed by Asling, because they're the only ones that are willing to design dark-skinned characters for Arknights. New Asling sprite. Surprise, surprise. Colombian ambassador. What's Max plotting with Kjerag? Or were they the ones that were discussing with Silver Ash in the back room? I must words are hard. I must emphasize. Different words. I must emphasize our concerns regarding this matter, Mr. Silver Ash. We consider Carlin Trade a reliable partner, and Kjerag a respectable nation. We had hoped that the observation station would be at the tip of the spear of our mutual understanding and cooperation. I have to say at the moment, we are disappointed.
I understand your Excellency's concerns. Allow me to explain.
I don't think Max goes by His Excellency.
No, I don't need an explanation. We understand the unfortunate circumstances that have befallen Kjerag, and we express our deepest sympathies. But that is no reason for Kjerag mobs to attack innocent Colombian scientists. We're seeing verbal abuse of our scientists, promoting hate and xenophobia. We are outraged by Kjerag's contempt for and violation of the safety of other people. Should your government continue to allow the situation to spiral out of control, the Colombian side will take action to ensure the safety of Rhine Lab researchers by evacuating them in accordance with our treaty.
Regarding the incident at the Rhine Lab observation station, Carlin Trade personnel have arrived on the site, and we're working to de-escalate the conflict, preventing the situation from further deteriorating. As I understand it, there has been no injury to person or property.
Should we thank our lucky stars? Or that public sentiment has not yet reached a boiling point? Should we continue to trust in Kjerag's ability to stabilize the situation? Or should that public outrage dissipate overnight?
The fireplace cracks, sending forth a wave of warmth, but there is no warmth on the faces in the room. The Colombian ambassador adjusts her posture and raps the table with her finger, speaking in a calm tone.
We respect the professionalism, sincerity, and capability that Carlin Trade has demonstrated in the past. It has allowed our cooperation and scientific collaboration to progress safely up to this point. Now, however, the Columbia's best and brightest are in danger in your land, danger that they should never have found themselves in. Kjerag needs to provide a solution, or at least demonstrate a will to resolve the situation.
Your Excellency cannot ask so much of a developing country.
That's a microaggression! From the Victorian? Not surprising.
Considering Kjerag's current circumstances, I find Mr. Silverash's performance, thus far, quite impressive.
I see that Victoria shows great care for her neighbor.
But of course, a kind neighbor should always be ready to lend a hand. Remember the prince of the Victorian folklore, who gave his golden crown to a foul beast in the snow.
The man smiles with an expression of unnatural benevolence. He draws out a piece of paper from his pocket and unfolds it on the table.
Here's a checklist for the first catch of humanitarian assistance. Food, blankets, medicine, spirits, sugar, salt, a team of doctors, and 2 veteran peacekeeping squads. Exactly what Kjerag needs right now.
This is very generous. Kjerag appreciates your kindness.
Not mine. This is the kindness of the Empire of Victoria. Our prince had a heart of gold. He would give his prize sword in the same way he would offer gold and silver. It all depends on what you need and what manner of threat you face.
There's no need to fear or worry.
I'm sure you will make a decision that is satisfactory to all 3 sides of us. After all, survival is an art form in the snow realm. Is that not, Mr. Silverash?
Gazes beckoning and questioning converge upon the piece of paper and on the silent young man. How united is Victoria at this very moment? Because there's the Dukes, who have their own coalition, and there's the capital of Londinium, run by the People's End Alexandrina. Who is this humanitarian assistance coming from? The Dukes? I feel like it's the Dukes, because they still talk about the fucking Empire, dog. This is clearly assistance from the Dukes. Specifically, Castor.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Silverash?
And Siotis looks down at the pushed piece of paper and picks it up. Black and white, neat and clear. There's no deception. Even the names on the squad leaders are listed on the paper. A perfect show of sincerity and pomposity.
I have no reason to refuse, do I?
As you said, this is exactly what Kjerag needs right now. The supplies will keep the people fed. The doctors will help us win more battles against illness and death. As for trained soldiers, I'm sure I do not need to expound upon usefulness. To the question that was interrupted, Madame Ambassador. Kjerag vowed to protect the safety of each and every researcher at the station when it was first established. That vow has not been broken. I'm not sure why you are so eager to reach the conclusion that Kjerag has lost control of the situation. The Vine Bead Court and Carlin Trade will uphold the end of the bargain. May I ask you to continue to trust in Kjerag's ability to deal with our own problems?
Yes, we are a sovereign nation with our own military that they may or may not know of. We can handle our own affairs. I mean, Silverash though, he's the most suspicious person in the room though. Aside from The envoy of the Victorian Empire and the envoy of America?
As for whether the incident at the observation station was an accident, or instigated by those with ulterior motives, I believe that time will tell.
Very well, Mr. Silverash. I will look forward to your show of competence. But I must remind you how important the project is to Columbia. We believe it to be of paramount significance to all of Terra.
Yes, the Star Pod. The research on the Star Pod. So it's being fully pushed by the American government now, by the Colombian government. Funding Rhine Labs to investigate the Star Pod. The fuck are they planning? The first foray, well, not first, second foray into space. We're gonna get our own NASA. Rhine Labs, though. I trust Rhine Labs with that. Silence is there to watch over the ethics.
Therefore, the Colombian side will deploy any means necessary to protect our scientists and their findings. Any means necessary.
Indeed, I too believe that the scientific exploration taking place in Kjerag belongs to all of Terra. The Empire of Victoria will do our part to maintain Kjerag's stability.
This smarmy bastard.
Of course. I'm sure we're all of one mind on this matter.
The sun shines in through the window, past the shoulder of the Colombian ambassador, and upon the chest of the Victorian ambassador. He stands up from his chair, his back perfectly straight. The discussion seems to have come to a close.
Such a wise decision. It seems all of us have gotten what we wanted. Is the meeting over? How long have you been waiting?
Half an hour. I made good use of it going through 4 reports while I was waiting.
Take a seat. If you want a drink, help yourself.
Thank you, but I've already helped myself to the tea that you kept on the top of the shelf. It has been there for a little too long.
You two get a fucking room! Where's Degenbrecker? I need my third wheel.
It's finally time to ask you. What's the situation at Rhine Lab?
They have no insights into the catastrophe, as expected. Our people demonstrated enough restraint. There weren't any real attempts at violence. Most satisfied themselves with reciting the Kjeragander as they held hands. But I noticed that there were a few people at the front who shouted the loudest, only to disappear into the crowd when they saw the soldiers.
Are you concerned?
I'm concerned that this may only be the first incident. The observation station is not the only place where conflict is happening. There have been protests and rallies in the domains of the other clans. Strikes at our factories as well. I'm dealing with it. Someone understands that they could use this catastrophe as a weapon. They know the power of the people's will.
Someone is stirring it up. But who? Is it the Brown Tails? Is it Akazots? Actots? What's his face? The deadbeat? Leto's deadbeat dad?
A trick that you've deployed before, but the weapon is not in your hands this time.
You skipped the part where someone threw snow on your face.
Is that important?
It's the only thing that's unexpected.
Did you expect Columbia and Victoria to sit you down for a game of good cop, bad cop?
Yes and no.
The Colombians' attitude is aggressive, but at the end of the day, it's continued cooperation that they want. The most important thing for them is that the observation station delivers results. As for the Victorians, they're more anxious than we thought. I saw Harold's caravan. I'm sure he's wandering about the streets telling neighborly stories with his old friends. His wandering should take him to the Carlin Trade headquarters in another 20 minutes. I suppose you've already signed and received the goods. I don't suppose we had a choice. The Pale Roches and Brown Tails will find out soon. As for how they'll take it, let's just say they should be prepared for the Tri-Clan Council. Getting cold feet?
I'm used to it.
This nonchalant attitude of yours is why people hate you so much.
Thank you for the compliment.
At the end of the day, however, none of us expected this catastrophe to happen. You can act so unflappable as you like, but don't tell me this disaster hasn't actually fazed you. I don't think you're actually this thick.
I know.
With risk, however, comes opportunity. It's the first catastrophe that Kjerag has seen in 1,000 years. Perhaps it's time for certain things that have lasted 1,000 years to change. Enciodes looks out the window. It has started snowing again, covering the land of Kjerag in white. The mountain winds continue to blow. They call it the breath of Kjeragander, her messenger. It walks every inch of Kjerag, bringing all its sounds back to her ears. She will tell right from wrong, good from evil, friend from foe, piety from falsehood, medicine from poison, and mirth from tears. She will pass judgment. There's one other thing that you should know. The avalanche caused by the catastrophe destroyed the train station at the foot of the mountain. Strangely and fortunately, there were few people inside the station than expected. It was only in later interviews that we learned that someone had shouted about a bomb in the station, causing the crowd to flee. Who? We don't know yet. But the researcher who disappeared from Rhine Lab remains unaccounted for. If they are the one and the same, then she had not cleared the borders of Kjerag when the catastrophe occurred. She should still be somewhere in the realm.
I see. You're the only one I can count on this, Gnosis. Find this woman, without triggering a response from Rhine Lab.
You're finally starting to look serious. Should I ask why?
You'll learn soon enough. But ideally, one should not have to rely on trick plays in the game of chess.
There is someone behind all this. But as far as we know, our only lead is a researcher. Meanwhile, back at Enya's place. Is the elder dead? Did they pass away? When the winter nights were long, and there was no food to be found, she walked into the forest to look for seeds. No, not this one either. The word catastrophe doesn't even exist in old Kjeragi language. Is it even possible that we truly have never been struck by a catastrophe before? Or maybe the ancient people couldn't tell catastrophes from normal disasters, and mix their records with others. The snow melt, flooded field and pasture, the crops fell into untimely winter tide. No, none of these sound like catastrophe. I remember there's another story that she used to tell. When the cold winter night froze the heart of Carlin, the enemy from afar came across the ice. The warrior stood vigil with weapon in hand. At dusk he saw a terrifying abomination in the mirror-like ice. Radsorn. The warrior ran back to his clan to warn the others, but
no one but the warrior could see the creature. Nobody believed his words, and so the warrior began to live in fear.
Elder Adso? When did you...
I came after morning prayers. I did not wish to disturb you, so I remained quiet. But I could not resist the urge to speak when you recited a familiar section of the scriptures. I apologize for disturbing you.
Hold up. Elder Adso is also suspiciously too detailed to be just an NPC. What if Elder Adso was behind it all along? Or maybe there's a secret third option. It was the twins! It's Sirius's two newborn twins that were behind it all along. It's alright. I just thought that you were still handling matters of the court.
The light is dim. From Enya's vantage point, sitting on a high ladder, the Great Elder's robes seem to blend into the color of the floor. She cannot see his expression.
You must be very busy after taking over the Great Elder. Is everything going well?
You think too highly of an old man like me, Great Saintess. I have spent most of my time here in the Hall of Writings, and I have hardly ever stepped out of the Vine Bead Court, not to mention dealing with other matters of the court. My only claim to this position is my age. Apart from that, I can only do my best.
You're too modest. I haven't had many chances to speak with you, but I understand that you are a man of great learning.
You flatter me. The more I study the tomes, the more conscious I am of my own ignorance. We all are, compared to her. But I heard that you have been studying the scriptures for 2 days and nights, without rest, so I came to see if I could share the burden.
It's good timing. I also have some questions I would like to discuss with you.
She closes the scroll and climbs down. The old wooden ladder creaks as it faithfully connects knowledge in high places to the solid, silent ground. Enya walks out from amongst the bookshelves with scrolls in her arms, sitting down by the spacious table that is already covered in open scrolls.
This is what I've compiled over the past 2 days. I've searched for any and all records of unnatural disasters in Kjerag, but I have yet to find any evidence of a catastrophe ever having occurred in our borders. And I still haven't been able to find any explanation as to why this catastrophe chose this moment to strike.
Hiccups.
When there has been nothing particularly unusual about this year's winter.
The girl looks up from the scrolls to the elder. However, the old man seems uninterested in the scriptures lying before him. He bows his head, squinting with the saged eyelids that lie below his white hair.
You do not seem to approve of the studies I have pursued.
No, I dare not be so impudent. You are seeking the truth of the catastrophe, the massive thing that has descended before us, the fear incarnate. Like digging a path through a mountain, or building a bridge over a river, your actions are undoubtedly logical. But to search the entirety of Kjerag's history, every tribulation within the fragments, it is an ordeal akin to searching for a grain of salt in the snow by candlelight.
I'm afraid of ordeals. I'm not afraid of ordeals. I must find an explanation for this catastrophe. I must.
I understand. You worry for Kjerag, and take pity on those affected by the disaster. And I feel that there is some other anxious emotion driving you. But perhaps this anxiety has made you short-sighted.
I've never asked you in private, Great Elder Adso. What do you think of this catastrophe that has struck Kjerag?
I must admit that my knowledge is shallow, and unable to explain the reason behind this catastrophe. But I agree with what you said a few days ago. Kjeragander never promised her people that they would be safe from the threat of catastrophe. Indeed, Kjeragander has never made any promises to her people. On the contrary, the scriptures have often emphasized that we must not validate her existence through miracles. We believe in her because we believe she is good, that she embodies all that is good. We follow her way such that we may be better ourselves.
I agree with you, but I fear the public will not respond well to such an interpretation.
Indeed. Reason and insight are a pair of golden shoes that will take you far, but only if your feet can fit them. The day may come when your path of truth is validated, but it is not today.
Then what do we do?
What do we do? That is a question that I do not have an answer for. But you were reciting the story of Radsorn. Let us continue.
The book on the table records a conflict that occurred over water sources. It is an old story, a common refrain in many civilizations. The Great Elder reaches out and pulls another book from under it. Dust intertwines with the scent of charcoal from the fireplace, like a piece of amber hovering in the air.
The warrior searched far and wide for a way to fight the monster, but even Kjerag could not help the warrior kill a monster that could not be seen. And so she led the warrior back to the frozen lake, and she spoke to him, saying the others cannot fight the monster, for they do not see it. Only you may find the way to defeat it. The warrior was enlightened. The heart of Karlan began to melt, and the winter was driven out by spring. Kjerag granted her people her final blessing. Her tears froze the enemy, becoming 3 eternally frozen peaks.
The first story of the Book of Home in the Kjerag. It has been subject to various interpretations by scholars of generations.
Wait a minute. Hold up. The heart of Karlan began to melt, and winter was driven out by spring. Kjerag granted her people her final blessing. Her tears froze the enemy, becoming 3 eternally frozen peaks. Hold up. What if Kjerag's mountains weren't natural mountains to begin with? What if they were formed by ancient catastrophes and Kjerag just froze them and turned them into mountain peaks? And the reason why they're collapsing now is because of fucking priestess messing with the admin controls on Originium, turning them into Oka, the veins on Terra are changing form.
The Heart of Karlan likely refers to Lake Silver Nehrs, and some believe that this warrior who heeded the words of Kjerag was the very archetype of the Saintess. Opinions differ on the enemy that came across the ice. As for the monster that could not be seen...
Wait. Enemy that came across the ice.
The Collapsals?
The Collapsals? The Stargate? The ice fields? Hold up.
As for the monster that could not be seen...
Radsorn. A word that has long lost its true meaning, and one of Kjerag's most famous bedtime stories. Parents tell this story to children who refuse to go to sleep before tucking them back in. The name is so widespread that most people have forgotten that Radsorn was not an incarnation or meaningless babble, but a word with a clear, specific meaning.
Many words lose their meaning over time. At one point, Radsorn was believed to be a loanword that came to Kjerag 1,000 years ago, of the same origin as the word catastrophe. If I recall correctly, your work in the Hall of Writings involved decoding and translating imported words that have lost their original meanings.
Research that has fortunately borne fruit. The word Radsorn has 2 parts. The short stopped syllable rad, and the stiff sibilant syllable sorn.
The fireplace flickers as the Great Elder draws a line across the page with his finger, leaving a crease of shadow that fades away in a second, cutting in half a mysterious abomination, the likes of which has never been seen before.
The word sorn is not hard to understand. It translates roughly to something terrifying or unknown monster. It comes from Old Ursine dialects spoken in Kjerag, which are still used by some of the older generation. It serves as an anchor for our exploration. Rad comes from Victorian, sharing etymology with the word radlith, which means blind or short-sighted. 5 centuries ago, a famous playwright from County Hillock penned a word in his play, The Rose of Shah.
From County Hillock? That place doesn't exist anymore. Because of Manfred.
Radlith, which means unseeable, a place of darkness.
Yes, so you've seen the manuscripts and the comments on it. Unfortunately, I was young at the time I left those comments, and my knowledge deficient. I have pored over many pages in the years that followed, which granted me sufficient knowledge to discover and address the errors of the past.
The room is silent, except for the sound of a pen writing on paper, soft as the sound of a tiny bug crawling across a page. The word reads Radsorn, the two etymologically different roots separated from each other, with a circle around Rad.
It is indeed a place that is unseeable, a place of darkness that one cannot discover on one's heart. It means a heart.
Then the meaning of Radsorn is the terrifying thing in the heart of man.
Exactly.
The warrior saw his inner demons upon the lake. Others could not see it because no one else could know your own fears, and Kjeragander was powerless as well, because the only thing that could defeat one's inner demons is oneself. What is truly terrifying is not the disaster that we could see and feel, but the monsters in our heart.
It's fear! It's xenophobia! It's zealotry! Wokeness in my Arknights?
You are wise, Saintess. The sages realized this 1,000 years ago. Now, this catastrophe has struck Kjerag, is also a Radsorn which only Kjerag can see.
The catastrophe isn't the actual event itself. It's Kjerag eating itself from the inside. Out of fear.
But now, there's no Kjeragander to lead the lost warrior.
Why do you say so? Kjeragander could not help the people fight their inner demons, for she is absolutely good, without the flaws of man. The darkness that clouds the people's hearts does not exist in her. So she chose a saintess from among the mortals, and bestowed upon her the power to fight the Radsorn.
To guide the people. To be the light. To be a shepherd.
Only she is always at Kjeragander's side. The snow washes her eyes, her piety judged by ice. She hears the guidance of Kjeragander, and cherishes the love of the people. Only she can dig open ice and soil, and make open a path for the people of Kjerag out of their heart's maze, such that Kjeragander will return to us. That is what the people of Kjeragander have believed for centuries. Only the Saintess may atone on their behalf. On behalf of the children of Kjeragander.
The Great Elder places his hands on his knees and bows his head in an imploring gesture. The Saintess of the Vine Bead Court sits on the other side of the candle. The flame flickers, and the wick grows long.
You're proposing a pilgrimage.
It is time for the noon prayers. I'm afraid I must take my leave, Saintess.
One moment, Elder Adso.
Saintess?
Something you said caught my attention. You said Kjeragander has never made any promises to her people, and that she does not rely on miracles to demonstrate her existence to her believers. Do you believe that Kjeragander doesn't exist?
Politics in Arknights? No way. What's up, Hermit? We're dealing with a country that's about to eat itself out from the inside. Out of fear of the unknown, out of fear of things they don't understand. It's their first time experiencing a calamity such as a catastrophe. They don't know who to blame. They want to blame the Rhine Labbers. They want to blame the outsiders, the Colombians, the Victorians. They're lashing out. It's fear eating at their hearts. It's xenophobia. Wokeness and my Arknights never.
No, wait.
No. Of course, Kjeragander exists. Look at our bodies, our faces, and hear our language. Every tree and grass, rock and brick in Kjerag is proof of Kjeragander's existence. Of course, some hope for a divine spectacle from our god to affirm their own faith. But if a god truly stood before us, answering our every call, what need would remain for our faith? This is the first thing that every believer should know. For you to bring this up now,
Never mind. I misspoke.
The old man silently bows and leaves. He disappears through the door like a speck of dust brushed off a page. Meanwhile, all three clans have gathered.
I see you've beaten me here. Did the two of you summon me to discuss the disaster relief? What the hell is this, Ensiodes?
Arknights tosses a package bearing the Victorian crest on the table.
A supply package containing a day's ready-to-eat rations as well as emergency medicine. Don't play the fool. I'm asking why are there so many Victorians in Kjerag at a time like this? Their reporters are babbling all over the place. Soldiers dressed in workers' garb everywhere. I saw more Victorians than bird and beast on my way here. Don't tell me you don't know about this. I'm well aware that Carlin Trade has been handing this stuff out. The Vine Bead Court never enacted a ban on Victorians entering Kjerag. Besides, Victoria's help has been substantial in our present situation. What would it do to Kjerag's international reputation if we rejected a country's assistance for no reason at a time like this, let alone expelling our visitors? Some bloody help! Do you think we can't overcome this catastrophe on our own? Without those bloody hypocrites pretending to be good neighbors?
The teacup on the table ripples, sending part of its contents splashing onto the wooden surface. It faintly reflects the heads of the three clans, like three mountains of different heights.
Besides, what kind of help can the Victorians bring? Oh, I remember. That man Harold helped, didn't he? Drinking with our people, chatting them up, going into the pens, treating the beasts, and delivering new fowls. He made the bird and beast fat and plump. People say he's a Victorian, but he's not a bad guy. And what happened? What did he do at Lake Silvernerds? Here I thought you were supposed to be the smart one, Ensiodes, but you couldn't even learn that lesson. I'm telling you, no matter what the Silver Ashes and Brown Tails think, not one Victorian will set foot on Pale Roche land from this day forth. I don't care about your political goals or international reputation. I won't let the Victorians have their way on Kjerag's soil.
Look, I get it. I get it. I get what Leto's deadbeat dad is saying about the Victorians. In truth, the Duke of Castor is also on the chessboard right now. Like they're flexing they're flexing their soft power in helping out with aid and rescue. They're strengthening the bond of the two nations, just in case Victoria gets into any more trouble in the future. Just in case the Dukes try anything funny.
Calm down, Arknights. Are we supposed to fight amongst ourselves before we've dealt with the foreigners?
Then what do you think, Ratatos?
The fireplace continues to crackle. Ratatos's voice is calm, the dark rings around her eyes showing the toll that the past few days have taken on her.
This time, I'm with Arknights. You've dealt with the Victorians the most. You know their ways, especially at a time like this. Victoria does not show kindness to Kjerag for no reason. The aid could turn into a poison pill at any time. All the chaos we've seen all over the past few years. But part of it had nothing to do with foreigners. You of all people should understand the risks.
I completely agree, Ratatos. But we must not forget that while stagnation may be the least risky course of action at present, it is also the surest way to doom. Sending people at a time like this, Victoria is testing us. They are hoping that we will fall apart on our own. It has taken so long and so much of Kjerag to finally see the results of reform.
Where's our heart?
To close our doors again at this junction would lay to waste to all that we've done over the years. You're set on dealing with the Victorians? You have my word. Carlin Trade has taken responsibility for establishing contact with the other nations. We will handle Kjerag's relationship with Victoria.
How can you be so sure?
As you said, Victoria has never given up on exploiting us. Have they ever succeeded, though?
That look again. Like you're always in control, always so sure of yourself. Kjerag is changing. Not just the changes that you've brought about, but also the changes brought about by the catastrophe, and by progress. Nothing stays the same forever. That's true of your past successes too.
And it's true of the great power's lofty perch.
By Kjeragander, I hope you know what you're doing.
In the distance, the evening bell tolls at the Vinebead Court, echoing amongst the pillars.
Sir Ensiodes, the Saintess requests your presence at the Hall of Lectures. The Saintess? It seems we'll have to continue this conversation another day. Even if we have not reached the court, do not forget that it was the decision of the Vinebead Court to open up Kjerag to foreign dialogues. To cross the line now is to defy the Vinebead Court and the Saintess herself. Don't try to keep my head down with some tough words. But remember this, my eye is open, and I won't allow anyone to do anything that will harm this land. There's no length I won't go to protect Kjerag.
Do remember, Sir Ensiodes, that your decisions affect more than just your domain and company. This whole nation will be affected. I hope Kjerag will not pay the price for your pride.
No one can make Kjerag pay, as long as our people remain united.
About that. That's gonna be an issue.
Excuse me.
Your visitor is here, Saintess. Wait at the door. Do not allow anyone to enter without my permission. Yes, Saintess.
It is time for these two to hash things out. Because a real calamity has finally come for Kjerag.
For what purpose do you summon me, Saintess?
Nothing important. I just realized that it has been some time since your presence last graced the Hall of Lectures.
If I'm being charged with impiety, then I have no defense. I will come to hear your lectures at each week, once this crisis has passed.
I know you're a busy man, but I have rarely seen you so fatigued. I take it that matters at hand have been so troubling?
I'm sure you understand that the people have been restless in the aftermath of the catastrophe. There is much to be done.
Bro, they have the whole Holy Spirit separating them. In this case, Kjera.
The Divine Bead Court will only grow busier. Take care.
Ensiotis gestures under his eyes with his finger. Enya sees it, but says nothing. The fire burns bright in the fireplace, its warmth reaching the eyebrows and noses of the Silver Ash siblings, warming their pale and alike complexions. They are not looking at each other, but towards a solemn statue.
I saw Arknights today. He looked all sorts as he greeted me. Even Ratatos did not seem her normal self. It won't be the first time the three of you have fought, but a situation like this, I haven't seen it in a long time. What happened?
Temporal matters that you not need worry yourself about.
Then please tell me, what are the temporal matters that trouble Kjerag? Is it the Victorians?
Yes and no. They immediately sent a large relief operation to Kjerag as soon as news about the catastrophe got out. The Colombians also learned about the incident at the observation station and threatened to send troops to protect and evacuate their scientists.
Of course, Max just focused on the scientists. They didn't even bring humanitarian aid. Typical Colombia.
They are paying close attention to the catastrophe, each for their own reasons.
So they understand Kjerag better than we think. They know well what this catastrophe means to Kjerag.
The politicians smell chaos and see it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to extend their influence into Kjerag. We know the Victorians have been doing far more within our borders for a long time. They have simply stopped trying to hide it. I have a good guess as who is behind Victoria's movements. Her plot is not hard to decipher. It is simply the instincts of a politician.
The hag herself, Duke of Castor.
If I was in her shoes, I'd agree if it would be another chess piece to move.
You know, I don't like it when you get like that.
I apologize. I spoke out of turn in this holy place. Why do you keep putting yourself in this plotter's seat?
Wait, why do you keep putting yourself in this plotter's seat? Treating everything around you like chess pieces or bargaining chips. Do you enjoy games like these?
This is our reality. One that florid words cannot conceal. If we want to be strong, independent, even sit as equals with the great powers at the same table, then we have to play by the same rules.
Is this the most absurd part of it?
Kjerag is not the only country that preaches virtue and goodness.
Oh wait. Kjerag is not the only country that preaches virtue and goodness. Those politicians too play the part of leaders and teachers in their own country. They're hypocritical and deceitful, but they teach their people to be honest and sincere. They are avaricious and insatiable, but they teach their people to be gentle and kind.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe not the specific envoys that were brought here. Maybe not them. But yeah, there are good people in Victorian Colombia.
I ask then, Sir Ensiotis, are the virtues that I preach to the people of Kjerag as saints and tenets of scriptures all lies and nonsense to you?
Enya.
The fire flickers as a charred piece of wood snaps in two. First name basis, finally. The name, buried for so many years, is once again uttered by a Silver Ash.
Sir Ensiotis, would you have come to me today if I did not summon you with the authority of the Saintess?
Kjerag faces an unprecedented crisis. One wrong step, and we may never recover. We need unity more than ever, and the authority of the Saintess is crucial at this time.
I see you finally recognize the importance of our faith to our people.
I never denied it. Faith in Kjeragander is fundamental to us. We cannot even begin to talk about this land without it.
Yes, More than one person has said as much to me.
But when we view faith from a perspective of gain and loss, have we really paused to think of our history, free from the threat of catastrophe, was a mere coincidence?
There is no point
in discussing whether it was a miracle or not.
Oh wait, no, that was Enya talking.
What happened, happened. The only thing we could do now is to calm the people.
On this, at least, we are in agreement.
It's not an easy thing.
Then I shall begin my pilgrimage as Saintess.
What?
I set out early tomorrow morning. The news will be known to all across Kjerag by dusk.
Was this the Vine Beads Court's decision?
It was my decision.
The pilgrimage takes place in spring or autumn. Has a pilgrimage ever taken place in the middle of winter?
Has a catastrophe ever occurred in Kjerag? We don't have time.
You know how dangerous this is.
Of course I do. But how else are we going to calm the fear of the catastrophe? How do we make them believe that Kjeragander will forgive their transgressions? There will be no companion, no temporal possessions, no carriages, no rest. The Saintess shall circle the land of Kjeragander on foot, atoning for the sins of all the people, praying for Kjeragander's forgiveness. It will take 3 months. If all goes well, more than one Saintess has died on a journey.
That's not happening. Brother, we don't even have to mention it. That's not happening.
Then why do you?
Brother?
The young woman pauses for a moment, then continues like the snow melting into a river, flowing down the peaks of Matterhorn. They are surrounded by warmth, like those winter afternoon naps they took together when they were children. The distant shadows of the past return, trying to find the children who have grown up, finding traces of the past on their faces.
As Enya of Clan Silverash, I never forgave the choice that you made. As the Saintess of Kjerag, however, I'm glad that there is still something that I can do. I know it is not just the guidance of faith that Kjerag needs. Indeed, misunderstandings about faith have hindered us for too long. The changes that you brought about, the factories, the railways, the trade, and the station that watches the sky, are all things that can lead our people out of the prison of the mind. Kjerag needs change. You must not stop. What I must do is to convince the people that what is happening is not because of that they did anything wrong, that there is salvation from their sufferings. There is only one salvation in the minds of the people, and only one capable of carrying their burden. I must fulfill my duty as Kjerag's Saintess.
You summoned me to inform me of your decision.
Of course. I'm not asking for your opinion. You cannot stop me, nor do you have any reason to. I leave the matters of the 3 clans back to themselves while I am away from the Vinebead Court. Please make the necessary preparations to avoid any trouble. And take care of Encia while I'm away. Don't leave her in fear.
Encia isn't a child anymore. She won't be easily frightened. I'm more concerned about...
It's getting late, Sir Enciotis. You should go and make preparations.
Is this an order to leave?
If you've understood it, you should act on it.
As you bid. I take my leave.
Enciotis bows reverently to the Saintess and exits, as he has done so many times before.
Molly, wait for me!
The ball hits the wall of the farmhouse and bounces back to the feet of the boy, who waves at the girl trying to catch up to him.
Come on, you're always so slow.
He kicks the ball several meters away. The girl grumbles and chases after it. The children are getting some rare free time in this foothill village with only a couple dozen households. The children, whose parents are too busy to watch, are playing in the center of the village. Are we gonna find out where the scientist ran off to?
As you know, the Saintess has begun a pilgrimage for our people. The village is her final stop before she ascends the mountain. Remember what I told you. Change into clean clothes. Do not disturb the Saintess when you see her. Am I clear?
Will the Saintess really be able to summon Kjerag back to us, Father?
My wife is working in the city. I haven't heard from her since the disaster. People in the nearby villages say Sir Enciodes has put a blockade around the scene. No one knows what's happening. Do not worry, Bauer. This is exactly why the Saintess is embarking on her journey. Kjerag will not abandon any of her children. But all of us here in the village have already been abandoned, haven't we? None of the young folk have been willing to stay on the farm since Carland Trade started their business. Let me tell you, if Bauer didn't go lame when he was little.
Hey, is that all you have to say when the father and I have been taking care of you since your son left for the city?
I haven't heard a peep from him since the disaster. I'll be damned if I got anything else to say. Alright. Let's not argue in the Saintess's presence. Bauer, you should go check on old Carl. He said he wanted to catch a glimpse of the Saintess, even if he had to crawl on all fours. Help me talk him out of it.
I see the Saintess, Father. She'll be here soon.
What? It's much too sooner than expected. Alright, let's go wait by the roadside. Brighten your faces.
A few dozen villagers line the roadside, turning their faces to the distance, from whence the Saintess is approaching. The cleric averts his eyes subconsciously, nervously rubbing his palms with his fingers. He was assigned to the village by the Divine Bead Corps 20 years ago, and has never since seen the Saintess outside of portraits. The footsteps approach. He focuses his entire attention on his facial muscles, hoping to leave a good impression on the Saintess. Bam.
Oh. Molly, you fool! Look what you've done!
What the? Blasted, I forgot about you two. Are you alright, Saintess? Molly, come on and apologize to the Saintess.
I'm sorry, Saintess. It's alright. It's just a ball. It didn't hurt at all. I still have to continue the ritual. Can you go home? Are your parents here?
Saintess.
Mom and Dad died a long time ago. My home is the temple. I'll go home then, Father.
Go. I'll have you copying scriptures if you cause any more trouble. I deeply apologize, Saintess.
How many children like him are there in this village?
I've taken in 9. Some are orphans, while others were entrusted to me by their parents who went to the cities to find work. But we haven't heard from them since the disaster. Saintess, do you know what's happening with the disaster? When can my wife come back? What did I tell you, Bauer? Has Kjerag really abandoned us? Enough!
She would never do that. In these days of hardship, we must remember, believe, and trust that she is kind and just. I will do my best so that your prayers, and your prayers of all of Kjerag, will be heard by her once again. Please trust me, in Kjeragander's name.
By Kjerag, she will protect us, and protect the Saintess.
After a moment of silence, the villagers bow their heads together behind the cleric in a gesture of reverence. They have chosen to believe. The Saintess nods and departs again. The snowy peaks in the distance awaits. She's on her pilgrimage. It'll take 3 months. She's doing it all alone? Does she have enough supplies? Am I being worried about Encia? OS-3. Among snowy shrubs. New friends bring opportunities if you seize the day. Hold up, just making sure. Sometimes I lose track. Okay.
Madame Ratatos, I bring a message from my master regarding the meeting of the three clans a few days ago. The Pale Roche's stance towards the outsiders is firm. We can never be too careful regarding the faithless. We must be even more vigilant now, with the Saintess out on pilgrimage and state affairs deferred to the three clans. My master does not think ill of Sir Enciotis, but is it true that Clan Silverash has been too close to the Victorians? It is true. We do not know if he has any other intentions. My master has chosen to communicate with you, as he sees you as a woman who has always upheld Kjerag traditions. He's happy to meet with you in person, if you have any thoughts that you would like to share.
Are you finished? Out of respect for Arknights, please bring this message back to him. I don't know if Arknights is harboring a grudge because the catastrophe occurred on Pale Roche soil, and I don't care. But at the last meeting, we reached the conclusion that none of us should make a move without the direction of the Vinebead Court. While the Saintess is absent, the best thing we can do for the nation is to take care of our own business and avoid causing more issues. This will be all.
I see, there's no avoiding these issues.
I apologize, but this little thing is no cause of concern. Let us return to the topic at hand. Long-term cooperation between premium Victorian clothing brands and Clan Browntail.
No, wait. With all due respect, Madame Browntail, I'm afraid this is not an issue that I can ignore. If the people of Kjerag are so hostile to Victoria, how are we to believe that any cooperation can last?
Our three clans may have their differences, but I'm the sole representative of Clan Browntail. You may take my word on it. This conflict between the three clans, I suppose that's not hard for a Victorian to understand. Not at all. I have made great efforts to learn about Kjerag during my time here. Your culture is exotic and fascinating.
Brother, he keeps...
That's your second microaggression! 2 strikes, brother! While all the Kjerag is united under your Kjeragander faith, the same tenets seem to have had different influence on the three clans. The brave Pale Roches, the clever Silverashes, and you Browntails. I must apologize if I find it hard to summarize your virtues in a single word. I suppose the way I would put it is that the Clan Browntail is noble and trustworthy. My sympathies for the homework that you have to do. Knowledge is the foundation of cooperation. Her Grace the Duke values cooperation with Kjerag highly, and she's looking for a reliable, proper representative of your land to work with. A representative of Kjerag? Is Her Grace unsatisfied with Carlin trade? Mr. Silverash is the most astute businessman, but this is also his greatest flaw. He will not permit any other winner in this game. I'm sure you understand, as his neighbor. A keen summary. Therein lies the problem. The three clans may equally be Kjeragander's children in name, but in the eye of an onlooker like me, they are not. Even an outsider like me can tell that your clan and the Pale Roches have had virtually no effective role in response to this catastrophe. The Silverashes and Carlan trade have not only monopolized Kjerag's foreign commerce, but also all of her foreign affairs. Brother, what are you trying to do? So, discontent between the three clans? And your nominal head of state, the Saintess, Mr. Silverash's sister, seems to have no objection to the present matter.
Mind your words, sir. Do not presume to blaspheme the saintess's piety with your prejudice. Oh, I apologize if my frankness has offended you. Please understand that I am speaking out of good faith, and simply conveying what I have observed as an outsider. Cut to the chase. What is your proposal? A simple one. Victoria is seeking friendly, equal, and truly mutually beneficial cooperation. Effectively long-term cooperation. Not one that only benefits one side or limited by narrow-minded nationalism. Her Grace thinks highly of Clan Browntail, and you personally. My presence here is proof of that. The opinions of foreigners is of no importance to Clan Browntail. Your promise is the very proof of the shifting nature of Victoria's position. You are wrong if you think Clan Browntail is simply another Clan Silverash, but easier to manipulate. No, of course not, Madame Ratatos. The Empire of Victoria does not seek subservience or dependence. She seeks to do the right thing. Clan Silverash is a window that is sometimes open, sometimes closed. Only those inside the room only can truly know its contents. Tell me, Madame Browntail, are you not tired of the constant meaningless tribal conflicts that haunt this land? Or perhaps you aspire to lead Kjerag into a new era yourself? I think that will do for today. Thank you for your visit. I fully understand your proposal, and I have a message for you to bring back to the Duke. She does not yet have a sufficient understanding of Kjerag, but I sincerely hope she one day finds it. Noted. Unfortunately, any commercial cooperation must remain on hold while political issues remain unsolved. But we will have plenty of patience for the important partners such as yourself. We look forward to your answer.
You're not gonna manipulate a civil war. You're not gonna sow seeds that'll fracture Kjerag as a society. Brother! Imperialist scum! Duke of Caster up to her bullshit yet again! Dear Encia, I hope this letter finds you well. By the time you read this, you will have already learned of my decision. Okay, it's from Enya.
Don't worry. Think of it as your sister going on a long trip. She'll be back before you know it. I'm sorry that we'll have to put our plans for fondue in the Vine Bead Court's kitchen on hold, but I promise I'll be good as my word once I get back. Don't worry about Enciotis either. He has his plans, though he might be busy for a while. We'll count on you to take care of things at home, alright? There are a lot of things going on right now. Stay safe and be especially careful when going out. I hope I'll find you as cheerful as always when I return. I'll pray to Kjeragander for both of you. P.S. Remember to keep your appointments at Rhodes Island. Follow your doctor's orders and wear protective gear when climbing the mountains.
A letter from Enya.
Yeah. It's always like this.
Same for Enciotis. It's quite enough at home to begin with, and ever since I came back from my trip, he's barely even around.
These are exceptional times. They're doing all they can to protect Kjerag. All we could do is trust them and support them.
I know, I just wanted to blow off some steam. They still treat me like a kid, never telling me anything. I don't even know what I'm worrying for. I want to help them too. Lady Encia, Master Chester, is Sir Enciotis here?
He's probably at the office. Why?
A herald has arrived from the Vine Bead Court. They say they're meeting with Clan Pale Roche to discuss cooperation in the joint mining venture, and they want Sir Enciotis to submit the relevant documents early.
I have the documents, but submit them early. Is this a temporary notice?
The herald didn't explain.
Very well. Prepare the car. I'll go too.
Before he can finish, Encia grabs the documents and runs out the door. Cliffheart?
You can stay home, Uncle Chester. Let me handle it.
Encia, come back! Sir Enciotis said that you were not to go outside without permission.
It's alright. Enciotis must have forgotten to bring these with him. I'll go have a good laugh at him later. Come on, let's go!
Oh dear. I should let Sir Enciotis know.
I thought that she would go after Enya. A brown car is driving on the mountain path to the vine-bead court. Sitting in the back seat, Arknights rubs his neck.
Why call me over so early in the morning? Is the mine thing so urgent? I hear Sir Enciotis often stays overnight at the company these days. An early morning meeting would fit his recent routine. Huh. It's not like there's much to discuss. I'm just waiting for the silver ash documents to sign off on. Give me the minutes from the last time, Gulo. I'll take a good look. Yes, sir.
Sitting in the passenger seat, Gulo takes the documents from the glove box and is about to hand them to Arknights when the car is violently jolted.
What was that? Falling rocks! They almost hit us! Falling rocks? Here.
The car is once again violently jolted before he could finish, as falling rubble slams against the trunk.
It's not safe inside. We need to get out, sir. The road ahead is blocked. Fine.
The three of them abandon the car and run to the mountainside, but the amount of rubble is overwhelming.
Look out!
A rock falls towards Arknights. Gulo pushes him away and is struck by the sharp edge of the rock on his forehead. His massive frame falls to the ground, bleeding. Arknights crawls towards Gulo and pulls him closer to the mountain, leaving a long trail of blood on the ground. The blood is soon covered by the falling rocks.
Gulo!
Dagenbrecker! The tranquility of the mountain is broken by the roaring sound of engines as the morning mist disperses. Tranquility is not what Dagenbrecker seeks right now. She pushes her bike to its limits. The scenery flies by so swiftly, but she does not see what she is looking for. The tracks are still visible on the road. The target was here not long ago. There. Dagenbrecker jumps off the bike and rounds a corner. Two cars are burning in the road after a collision, sending rancid smoke skywards. Dagenbrecker pulls her weapon and creates a gust that extinguishes the fire, revealing the familiar silhouette of a silver ash car. The door is easily cut open. There is no one inside. Dagenbrecker's worst fears have not come true. She hears the sound of rocks crashing from the direction of the cliff. Wait a minute, Cliffheart! Dagenbrecker looks down at the source of the sound and finds the one that she is looking for, despite the dirt and soot on her face. Dagenbrecker! Hanging off the side of a cliff with a hook, Encia looks up at Dagenbrecker, unsure how to hide her embarrassment.
I guess I screwed up.
Wait a minute, was that rockfall her fault? And Encia is on her pilgrimage. Enya.
Her kingdom promises not tomorrow, nor was it built for yesterday. Those who walk the present are closest to her. Her blessings are ever beneath a traveler's feet.
The snowflakes stick to her fur collar. The lone traveler pulls her hood tighter and walks up the mountain, against the cold wind that blows through the forest. Enya pulls her cloak tighter around her, her steps slowed by the falling branches mixed with snow. Encia just killed Gulo. The clerics often say that Kjerag tests her people with wind and snow, but Enya knows she would never torment her like this. I thought she was also on her way to deliver the documents for the same meeting that Gulo and Arknights for the same meeting that they were going to.
Kjer.
The scientist sees the smoke of the campfire deep in the woods. Perhaps there is a place to rest. Enya walks towards it and finds the fire still burning, providing a rare source of warmth. She reaches out to it at once. The hides hanging around shows that it belongs to a hunter. Short shrubs surround a lone wooden house, but the owner is nowhere to be seen. I think Cliffheart actually just jumped out of her car and hooked onto the cliffside to not get caught into the rockfall. I don't think she actually caused it. Probably something else. Rip to Gula though. Then one of the shrubs rustle. The tip of a metal bolt protrudes from it, pointing towards a campfire.
Who's there?
What? Enya turns around quickly, but not quick enough to avoid the bolt that strikes her right leg, soaking her thick clothing with blood. Who's attacking? Promenix! She raises her bell instinctively as she stumbles from the pain. The attacker has emerged from the bushes, aiming his next bolt at the Saintess's heart. Whoosh! The attacker falls as the bell rings, his body quickly covered in snow. Slowly, the small lump turns red. It was not the holy bell that did this. Enya gets closer and sees a crossbow bolt in the attacker's neck. What? Has someone been watching over her? Is it Monch? A rough hand, small but strong, grabs Enya's shoulders and pulls her to one side. Another bolt cuts through the air, taking down another attacker, but more of them continue to emerge from the forest. Are these the Pale Roche? Or the Silver Ash? Or a secret fourth thing?
Bandits! How dare you commit murder at my camp while I'm away?
Wait, no, new character! A young huntress carrying a heavy crossbow that seems too big for her stands in front of Enya. She smells of herbs and cloud beast. Wild woman! Hold up, new character! Are you a 5-star or a 6-star? I think you're a 5-star. With big crossbow! She's Ursus. Also, belly button.
Stop daydreaming! You're Silver Ash. What are you doing here? Never mind. Stay close to me.
Oh, she got tattoos on her thighs. Hold up. I'ma need an enhance on her sprite.
This is my home. Last I saw, they were going the opposite way. It's safe here. I'll wrap you up, and then you need to leave. Thank you, Don't talk and don't fidget, Silver Ash. Your wounds aren't that bad. There was some distance and your thick clothes absorbed some of the impact. But the bolt has a hooked head. It'll hurt when I pull it out. I'll try to be steady.
The young huntress snaps the arrow shaft and grabs the remaining part. She glances at the wounded woman, who simply nods, showing no sign of fear. The huntress takes a deep breath and slowly pulls the arrow. Even she shivers at the sensation of the hook grating against flesh. She does her best to keep her hand steady until the arrowhead is completely pulled out.
Finally. Thank you very much. I'm not done yet. Hang in there a little longer.
She takes out a packet of powdered medicine, lifts the edge of Enya's dress, and rubs it skillfully on the wound before bandaging it up.
You can yelp if it hurts. I won't laugh. I don't want to make you any more nervous. It'll only hurt more if your hands are shaking.
Huh? A slender snow-white cloud beast pokes its head out of the huntress's hood, hanging onto her braids with its claws poking its wet nose around Enya's fur collar. Who is this small little creature? Look at this creature! Look at it! Tiny little thing. Small la creatura.
Then it reaches out to sniff at the stranger's scent. Don't touch it. It doesn't like strangers. Before the huntress can finish, Enya's finger has already reached the little cloud beast's chin. Simply touching its soft fur seems to bring warmth to her heart, even in the bitter cold. Get back in, Rift Cloud Beast. You call it the Rift Cloud Beast? Come to think of it, I don't know your name yet, my hero. Joanna. I don't know. Wait. I don't need to know your. Wait. Never mind. I don't need to know your name, Silver Ash. Don't think for a moment that we're friends. Is it Joanna or Johanna? Let's go with Johanna. Joanna. Why? You've been good to me. And how have you people treated me? Forget it. Nothing to do with you anyway. By you people, do you mean Clan Silver Ash? Or Ensiotis? Not just him. My dad says the Silver Ashes have been obsessed with blaspheming Kjeragander ever since Ensiotis' father was clan leader. He poured asphalt on Kjeragander's backbone and poison on Kjeragander's tail. His greed led to his downfall. Ensiotis hasn't learned his lesson. He's done even more to wreck Kjeragander's peace. But his greatest sin was the hole he dug in Kjeragander's flesh. The disaster is proof that Silver Ashes angered Kjeragander.
I mean, I don't disagree. If there is a reason for Kjera to abandon her people.
But Kjerag can't stay in the snowy mountains forever. Haven't industry and trade brought us better lives? Why would the kind Kjeragander punish us just because we're living better lives? Better lives? You Silver Ashes sit by the warm fireside eating the best food and drinking the best wine. But who has to pay the price? Us. We do. Many beasts lived at the foot of the mountains when I was little. For 1,000 years they lived off the land, drank from the rivers, and went back to their forests to find berries and leaves. But Carlin Trade's railroads divided the mountains and rivers, forcing the beasts to risk their lives crossing the railway.
Oh no. There are repercussions to industrialization.
You even blame them when your trains run them over. The beasts were forced to move higher, but there isn't enough room there for large packs. They had to fight each other for space and food, and their numbers dwindled. Not to mention all the cloud beasts there are sensitive to noise. You have no idea how many had died and how I ended up taking in my Rift Cloud Beast. But the farmers by the mountains need the fertilizers and seeds that the trains bring, and sick people on the mountains need medicine. Where's the bountiful game that Kjeragander once gifted us then? The beasts grow fewer each year. Even water from the springs is less sweet. My family made a living hunting in the mountains for generations following the holy teachings of Kjeragander, and we show our faith by sculpting statues in our image. Dad, myself, and my siblings, we've always prayed to Kjeragander, always paid our respects. Why are we the ones who have to pay the price?
Spooked by the sudden outburst, the Rift Cloud Beast leaps down from a trembling Joanna and goes over to Enya. I think it's Joanna. Enya bends down and lifts it up, placing it back on Joanna's shoulder.
Don't move, or your wounds will reopen. This is the first time I've heard about any of that.
If you want to argue, go ahead, Silver Ash.
No, I don't. I'm different from the others. I have to stay home most of the time, and what I know about the land today mostly comes from the accounts of others. Sometimes I go out and experience things for myself, but it's not enough. Kjeragander will never abandon any children of Kjerag. I promise.
Humph. You better promise yourself that you pull through whatever's going on.
What was with those bandits anyway? I know all the hunters living on the mountain. I didn't recognize any of those guys. I think they came for me. For you? Do you have any enemies? It's a long story. If that's the case, you'd better stay put tonight. They won't give up so easily. My dad's friend has a shop in town, and my siblings have been helping out these past few days. I'll go get some medicine from him. And get help to fight the bandits. No, don't. Why? Are you afraid to be on your own? I'm fast and strong, and I can be back by tomorrow morning if I go down the mountain now. That's not what I'm worried about. Why? You Silver Ashes are such a bother. If you have something to say, just say it. If you can't fight, I have no choice but to get help on my own. That's the deal. That's the deal. Wait, I can tell you. Enya hurriedly gets up, tugging at the sleeve of the huntress who is about to leave, causing her own cloak to fall off. The Saintess? Actually, I'm sorry. Please, Your Holiness, punish me for my insolence. No, I'm not going to punish you. Please just sit down. Enya tries to stop the huntress, but she quickly takes a step back, putting more distance between herself and Enya. She turns to leave, but then seems to remember something and spins back around and bows reverentially to Enya before finally leaving the room. Who attacked her? Who are those bandits? Are they people that are discontent with how the Silver Ashes are handling the operations post-catastrophe?
General Gulo, could you knock on the Chapid door before you barge in, Matterhorn boy?
Is it Chabe? I don't know how to pronounce that. Chabe? Cheeb?
What are you doing here? I was accompanying Lady Encia for a checkup. She suffered a car accident this morning, but fortunately she's unharmed. I was told you were here too, so I thought I should pay a visit. Are you alright? Huh. Just a scratch. But, wait. You said something happened to the young Silver Ash lady. Lady Encia was delivering something to Sir Enciotis when she suffered a head-on collision with another vehicle on the way to the Vinebead Court. It was unfortunate that Madame Dagenbrecker quickly arrived on the scene. You said she was going to the Vinebead Court too. Strange. My master received a summons from the Vinebead Court this morning. Says there was a meeting. It was on the way there that we were struck by falling rocks.
Oh. It was a trap for the leaders. 2 out of 3 of the leaders. They wanted Silver Ash to be the one to deliver the documents. And Arknights was on his way too.
Did you hear anything from the Browntails? No, not yet at least. What's the matter with the Browntails? No wonder Sir Arknights was fuming when he left. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time. But this... Listen, brother. I need you to do me a favor. Can you ask Sir Enciotis to go to the Browntail Manor at once? Sir Arknights is even more hot-headed than I am. I'm afraid he might do something impetuous. Sir Enciotis is the only one who could stop him.
Do they think it was the Browntails?
I see. I'll let him know immediately.
I suggest you get your head checked at the hospital, Arknights. The symptoms of a mild concussion are easy to miss.
Don't try to change the subject. Answer me! Why is it that only Clan Silver Ash and mine were attacked, while you Browntails sit safe and sound in your home? What do you know?
Do you not see what's happening, brother? If anything, you should be suspicious about Duke of Castor's forces and Harold.
Everything that I know about what happened today came from you.
More excuses! Even the servants of Silver Ash knew to show concern and tell me that Encia suffered too. But what about you? You look like you couldn't care less, like it's nothing more than a piece of snow falling on the ground. Is this the Browntail stance?
I apologize for my demeanor. All of Kjerag has suffered in recent days. I ask for your understanding.
Enough of this hypocrisy. We both know there's been gossip going around about the Browntail witch. I never took it seriously. I couldn't care less what you did, as long as you did it for Kjerag and Kjeragander. But now, when did Kjeragander teach you to stab your allies in the back, Ratatos?
Watch your words, Arknights. Do not disrespect Kjeragander even if you intend to insult and provoke me.
Stop dodging the question and answer. Was Clan Browntail involved in the attack on me and Encia?
You're wasting your time. I've already told you multiple times. I know nothing about it, and I express my sympathies.
If that's your final answer, then don't accuse me of going too far.
What do you mean?
Don't think I'm out of Pale Roches just because you took Gulo out of action. Before I went out, I told my men when to show. Clan Browntail's estates will be thoroughly searched. I didn't want to go this far, but I'm afraid Cirrus and her children will have to bear with me a little.
You dare!
You made me do this, Ratatos!
The door to the drawing room flies open without warning. Arknights draws his sword immediately. The sharp-eyed Browntail guards raise their weapons too and stand in front of Ratatos.
I take it you've already discussed the incidents that occurred today. I came for the same reason, and I've reached certain conclusions. Please stand down.
Seeing that Arknights has sheathed his sword, Ratatos raises a hand, and her guards hesitantly back off.
Good timing, Enciotis. With the leaders of the clans Pale Roche and Silver Ash both present, I demand that we thoroughly audit Browntail's documents and cooperation from Clan Browntail in the investigation.
Sorry, Arknights, but I don't assent to the demand.
What?
Why would Ratatos want to get rid of us? Assassinating the heads of the other two clans at this moment would only cause even more chaos. Clan Pale Roche has the most warriors. Clan Silver Ash runs Garland trade. Ratatos could not hope to keep the situation under control if you and I both died in an accident. Meanwhile, retribution would be swift and harsh. Am I right?
Ratatos avoids Enciotis' gaze and nods lightly.
That doesn't explain why Clan Browntail wasn't attacked.
Think with your thick skull! Brother! Why do you think that she wasn't attacked?
Maybe a coincidence, maybe bad timing. Maybe the attackers had something planned for the Browntails too, and we don't know about it.
You won't convince me with talk of coincidences, Enciotis. Who would have done such a thing, if not Ratatos?
There are other factions working within your borders. You deadbeat motherfucker.
This is not a question we could solve in a short time. Don't forget that there are still plenty of people looking to take advantage of the chaos and take a piece of Kjerag for themselves. The assassination coincided with the arrival of the Victorian aid. The mastermind wants to keep us from working together.
The Victorians did this.
They are potentially suspects, as is any foreign politician who attempts to intervene at this juncture. Therefore, I would like to maintain the status quo of our previous meeting. I will continue to handle all external affairs, including those involving Victoria. I will discover the truth for Clan Pale Roche, for the peace of the three clans, and for Encia.
I'll trust you one last time.
Huh.
Don't you dare look smug, Ratatos. You got lucky today. You can thank Enciotis and Cirrus. If it turns out you're behind all of this, you'll get what's coming to you.
The sturdy Ursa slams the table, then turns and leaves.
Thank you for calming down that maniac, Enciotis. but I'm exhausted. I'm sure you understand how tiring it is to deal with baseless accusations. If you suspect me and want to question me,
There's no need for that. Trust between the three clans has never been more important than now. I have other urgent matters to attend to. I'll take my leave.
Pardon me for not seeing you out.
Damn. NC Otis saw through everything.
NC wasn't hurt. You can rest easy.
I was the one they were after.
Obviously. The accident was likely staged. They targeted your car without knowing who was inside. Something's not right. It's too forward. It's as though the people behind this want to make the point that they have no qualms about deploying extreme measures.
They're trying to sow chaos and suspicion. The act itself is more important than the result. There's one other possibility. Perhaps it's not me, Ensia, or Arknights that they're truly after.
They also sent bandits, assassins, to get Prominix.
There will be trouble on the mountains. It's Enya they're after. If anything happens to the scientists at this point, it will serve to affirm all the conspiracy theories and drag Kjerag further into this quagmire. I need you to protect Enya, Degenbrecher.
I'm surprised that she didn't have a shadow beforehand. She really did go off on her own.
Enya set out a long time ago. I can't promise anything. You need to prepare for the worst.
Nah, she's a playable character.
I believe in Enya.
You believe. And you will not provide any of your basis for that belief to reassure me, like you usually do.
Correct. I believe.
Because this whole event has been a matter of faith. Not just in the faith in Kjeragander, who seems to have abandoned its people, but faith in the Kjerag people amongst themselves. They need to have faith in each other to not get devoured by the fear and xenophobia that is brewing underneath within their hearts. That's the whole point of this event. Cinema. Peak. Arknights never misses. However, I do think that will be it for now. We got no time for OS-4. We will continue next weekend for the continuation of our story reading of Retracing Our Steps. Somebody is sowing discord. Numero uno suspect, the Victorians. And Herald. This would be the second time. Why did we let that man's back into the borders? I have no idea, but also there's still the thing about the missing Rhine Lab researcher and Monch that is on her trail. We got no follow-up to that yet. But yeah, that'll be that for now. Thank you to everyone who stopped by, chilled out in chat, and used us as second monitor content. Once again, my name is Nez, and thanks for watching. I will be back yet again for some more story reading of Retracing Our Steps next weekend. Bye-bye, friendos.